committee that the health minister should come to this house, should be invited to this house and give, when he came earlier, he said, oh, everything is under control. Oh, everything is fine. We are stopping these infections. But as we speak now, just yesterday, 21 Ghanaians have been reported infected with mpox. And so I believe that the business committee should look at that. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Energy was in this house yesterday to speak to the increase of electricity of up to 2.8%. The minister had indicated in this house earlier that because of the improvement in the city situation, electricity prices were not going to go up. The same minister has told this house that the imposition of the 1 Ghana cedi per litre will not lead to increase in petrol. Go to the export price today. Ghana has more than 10% increase in fuel prices. The minister stood in this house and told us that a wise government, a government with acumen, will introduce fuel and not get effect. Now 10% increase in fuel prices in this country. So what is this? So, Mr. Speaker, I think the
Honourable
Minister
Member,
of Energy,
I believe these are some of the reasons based on which the business statement is coming out to provide a guide. If the recommendation is that the minister responsible for health should be programmed to appear before the House and give briefing on a stated thing because of a reason, you could have stated that in a simple language and in 1 minute. You see, that is what the business committee is guiding us so that we can make maximum use of our time. I believe if everybody can get up and go straight to the point, the time that we spend to adopt a business statement, we will not spend that time. Because the business committee under Order 71 has a right, based on the comment, to come with a supplementary business statement. But our comment, is it resulting into a supplementary statement? The time for adoption of business statement has been reduced into a political platform. Comments unrelated to the business statement, then we want to make those comments. So if you can make suggestion to the business committee through the chairman of the business committee, I believe the chairman will organize a meeting that based on comment A, B, C, D, let's come out with a supplementary. Yes, Honorable Kojo Ponkruma.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I want to commend the business committee through the chairman for a very detailed statement. In particular, a number of papers that will be laid on various days. Mr. Speaker, I want to recommend that they prepare a supplementary business statement, as you just mentioned, to include some other papers. The reason is, Mr. Speaker, there are papers that concern issues of national interest, issues of economic interest, programs that have been launched by the government. Until date, we have not received a single A4 sheet detailing it, which will make the oversight function of Parliament difficult. And I just want to bring to his attention, the Agric for Economic Transformation Program, or Feed Ghana, was launched on the 14th of April 2025. Program document is not before Parliament. The 1 million coders program, 17th April 2025. Program document is not before Parliament. The National Apprenticeship Program, 30th April. Program document is not before Parliament. The Adjournment program, 28th April. Program document is not before Parliament. Just about 2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy, I think, was launched. The Speaker even admonished that it properly be laid before Parliament for our consideration. And then on the 31st of May, His Excellency the President announced a labor export program, about 2,000 people to be sent abroad for work. Mr. Speaker, it's important that the program documents for all of these economic programs are brought before this House so that oversight can start. So I want to encourage the Business Committee to consider a supplementary. We have just about 2 or 3 weeks to rise. Consider a supplementary and bring these policy or program documents so that this House can exercise its oversight function. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi-Bejra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, this House is ruled by what we call the standing orders of the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, Order 1, 2, 3 of our standing orders 2B says that a member shall not impute improper motives or impugn the integrity of a member or any other person. Mr. Speaker, the member, my colleague, mentioned the majority leader, that he is abusing the majority of members. Mr. Speaker, that is imputing improper motives to the majority leader. Majority leader alone is not a member of the business committee. The member must be made to withdraw and apologize to the majority leader right now. We cannot be in a house of the representatives and make statement and go anyhow with that statement. That member must be made to withdraw the statement and apologize to the majority leader. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the business committee for coming out with this next week's business proposal. And we all know that this is a proposal and we need to approve of it for this House to be carried along. My colleague, Honorable Buama, mentioned that motion that has been slated for adoption of report of leadership for the composition of Pan-African ECOWAS Parliament has been lying on the order paper for too long, far too long. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, an adoption of a report of the Special Committee on the full-scale investigation into the event which occurred at the public hearing at the Appointment Committee has also been lying on the order paper for far too long. We want to find out from the majority leader and the business committee, when will these motions, the three motions, be taken? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank the Leader of the House. Speaker, a few observations. I see that Tuesday, in the light of the proposed amendment to the time allotment for the prosecution of business, I realize there is a proposal for 10 questions per day. However, well, to the extent that this is a draft, we could consider an amendment to the draft, because we are proposing 10 questions per day. However, we stand in breach. If you look at Tuesday, I counted the questions proposed for Tuesday, and there are 11 of them. And then Wednesday, there are 14 of them. So if we are going by our own proposal, then we should make the necessary amendment so that they stand at 10. I concede that Friday is, however, 10. Speaker, the attachment of the outstanding referrals is impressive. It's impressive. And we pray that committee chairs will take this matter seriously. But it will not only be a burden on the head of either the business committee or the chair of the business committee. Speaker, I think if we go into our orders, Speaker, may I invite you to Order 232. Speaker, with your leave, Order 232 H. Order 232, which is on Ways and Means Committee H, and it says, ensure that committees submit reports as required by law. So we don't need to put the pressure on only the majority leader or the business committee. The Ways and Means Committee also have an input. They should have a function. It is chaired by the deputy leader. He should revert his mind to it. I consider I'm a member of the committee, will be happy to help. But the Ways and Means Committee must also exert some leadership in this area. Because, Speaker, if you look at the outstanding referrals, it's something we cannot be boastful of as a house. So let's help the leader of the house. Let's help the business committee. And so a complementary effort between the Ways and Means Committee would help in this regard. The business committee is seeking to get clinical time allotment to businesses and how we can dispense of businesses scheduled on the order paper. Speaker, I also want to caution and counsel that we should also be clinical on the businesses that are advertised on the order paper. To that respect, we cannot keep advertising businesses that are not ready to be prosecuted. For instance, a particular item on cocoa board being on the order paper for months, and the motion the Honorable spoke to, I'm told there is an engagement by leadership, and yet we kept repeating that particular business on the order paper. Why? How would the public take us? You put businesses that are advertised for 1 month, you never take them, you always repeat them. So we want to get clinical in time allotment. We want to get clinical in how we do business on the floor so that we can close within reasonable time. The table office should liaise with the leader of government business and be in constant relationship so that businesses that are not ready to be taken, you don't repeat them on the order paper. All in the spirit of getting clinical and neat in our businesses. Speaker, I don't take it lightly, but I respect the majority leader. But when he says the Bank of Ghana governor cannot come. Now, the majority leader has signed this document. It's the proposed business statement. He signed it. The Bank of Ghana has been featured. And he says maybe he should have made an amendment to the report. But the Bank of Ghana governor was scheduled to be here 2 weeks ago. He wrote a letter to Parliament and said that he's engaged in an equally important matter and hence cannot come. Then the same question was rescheduled. Then the governor again wrote another letter that we should reschedule. Fine. But Speaker, I'm worried and I intend to ask, is it the case that when the table office goes through the motion of filing a question and the ministers cannot come, the minister can sit in his office, minister, independent constitutional body, can just sit in his office and write that I cannot come and decide not to come. Because the writing of these letters from the ministers to Parliament should be at the discretion of Parliament. Parliament must grant that request. So in other words, I'm saying that when the ministers write the letters seeking the rescheduling of these questions that have been programmed, they should wait on Parliament to grant that request before they decide not to show up. You cannot just write the letter and decide not to come. Within 2 weeks, we have received 16 letters. And the Bank of Ghana, this is the second time he's writing. With respect to Bank of Ghana, governor, when he writes to Parliament, for one reason or the other, he should wait for Parliament to grant that request. So I oppose that. I oppose the Bank of Ghana just saying that I cannot come. This is the people's representative. And he must respect us. I may sound very emotional, but it is not how we should prosecute public business. And he's there as a public officer. He should respect this house. I hope the majority leader will relate to him. I don't want to call him. I don't want to deal with him. But he must, when the Bank of Ghana's letter comes, he should write officially, and Parliament must consider whether we will grant that request or not. Very important. Well, he can decide not to show up. That's his business. Speaker, I raised this matter at the Business Committee on the matter of the cancellation of the SY MPP administration policy on 1D, 1F. And the majority leader's response was that the decision actually came from the finance minister or the finance ministry, and hence we should rather direct our attention to the finance minister. So I'm aware we have passed the Exemption Act. And if it's the case that the policy of 1D, 1F is going to be cancelled and is the decision of the executive, then the finance minister owes this house a duty, because what is within this transition period, there are a number of corporate entities who have signed on to the policy. What are the interim measures? What is it the case that we are disregarding the Exemption Act that has been passed? So I think that I was initially thinking that the trade minister and agribusiness minister should come and apprise us. But the leader averted my mind to where this concern is actually originating from. And so to that score, I want to amend my call and say that our own colleague, the Exchequer, the finance minister, I know how passionate he is about these matters of exemption, must find his way here. We know he's coming here on 24th, but this matter of exemption must be spoken to in broader context. Speaker, let me conclude on a note of what we are reading on the internet. Our students who are abroad schooling scholarship. We are told the University of Memphis University, has given a deadline of 9th of August as a date to sack Ghanaian students. It is not a palatable news. Well, I'm raising it as a concern. If you differ, you can speak. It is not a palatable news. I think the Minister for Communication at the Presidency, the Honorable Felix, should be preparing to come and tell us something. 9th August giving us a deadline for Ghanaian students to be sacked from Memphis University is a matter of public concern. And I will be glad if an action is taken within reasonable time to deal with this concern. I have spoken to the deputy leader about some statutory payment, and I'm happy to say that he's putting some effort. We've had some good news, but it's not absolute. The finance minister has confirmed that releases has been sent to NHIA, Get Fund. Up to now, the administrators of these institutions have not done the needful. Speaker, from now till Thursday, when the finance minister will come to this house, if we don't get a confirmation of work done by the NHIA Get Fund, they must come. They must find their way here as committee of the whole, because members are distressed. Members are distressed. And it's a matter of importance. So I won't elucidate on this matter. I will be guided by your earlier counsel. I will elucidate, but I think the leadership understands. In conclusion, composition of committees. So we are in line with Order 208. We stand in breach. Today at conclave, I think we nudged the majority leader who has indicated, I have confidence in you, even though oftentimes you try to jab us. The majority leader, now he has taken delight in jabbing us, jabbing. And he doesn't want us to jab him. So we nudge him on we standing in breach of 208. As regard your good self, you have been shortchanged by your chief whip. Shortchanged the whole first deputy. It's you. You should go and make pleadings to the first deputy speaker. So I think this is a matter that we cannot just let hanging. Let's deal with it. As the leader of the House said, we are rising soon, and we cannot leave these matters hanging. Speaker, I thank you. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Honorable Haji Aladi. Then I will call on the chairman of the committee to respond. Yes, second deputy, let me hear Honorable Haji Aladi, then I will give you the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of records, and we all know that whatever we discuss on the floor here will be recorded and kept forever. It looks like we have brushed off an issue that came up when we had to discuss the time frame for questions. A colleague of ours on the other side made a statement, and I think it is appropriate for us to ensure that the statement he made, he withdraws it and apologizes. Because you cannot in any way just impugn the fact that it's because the majority leader has a majority that he is using it to maybe put whatever he wants on the business statement. It is not acceptable. He discussed the issue of time, and it is clearly stated on page 47 or the 77-2 that, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, question time shall ordinarily not exceed 1 hour, except that the Speaker may permit a question after the expiration of the time stated. So ordinarily, this is what we have. We have it as our guidance, and we have to go by it. So at the end of the day, if the Speaker realizes that, 2 minutes is not enough, or I may give more people the opportunity to ask questions, I think the Speaker would be the one to do that. So I don't see why a member should come up when this is only a suggestion. We know that the business statement is only a suggestion for us to come and discuss before we accept, and then to say because of the majority leader's numbers, that's why he's using it to do whatever he wants. It's not fair. So let us make sure that he apologizes he withdraws and apologizes, because it's not right, it's not acceptable. It goes down to tell the kind of business or talks that we have in this house. We shouldn't brush it aside, Mr. Speaker. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, second deputy speaker.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you. On Thursday, the 24th, I think the House will be receiving the Finance Minister, and the chairman of the committee, I think, Leader, will you lend me your attention? Yeah, what I'm saying is on Thursday, when we are receiving the Finance Minister, I don't know whether it will be prudent for the House to also load the day with other activities, especially questions. Fine, laying papers, I wouldn't have any problem, but questions. Do the chairman think it will be prudent to have other activities, especially questions, in that very day? I want the chairman to...
Thank you, second deputy speaker. Yes, majority leader, your response.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. First and foremost, let me first and foremost, Mr. Speaker, let me address the charge of dictatorship and oppression. So, Speaker, our rules have been very clear from the beginning, except that we have been acting out of those rules. And in the past, because we sat from 10 a.m. early in the morning, it was easy to accommodate a lot of the deviations. But when we had challenges with members attending sittings at 10 a.m., and we decided to shift the sittings to 2 p.m., that change also brought along with it some challenges. And so on the basis of those challenges, the Business Committee decided to see what we can do to ensure that life is more bearable for members of Parliament. We are human beings. We are human beings. Yesterday, this side of the House was accusing me of insensitivity. Why? Because a member passed on, and I raised issues about the constitutional implications of a statement made in this House. But even more important is, have we asked ourselves, why did the member pass on? Why did the member pass on? Have you gone to the hospital to find out the health records? The member was in Takoradi the day before. He attended committee meetings a few days before. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, the member fell ill and could not be saved by the doctor. Do we know why our colleague passed on? So we need to address the working conditions of members of Parliament. So when the standing orders say members should work for 5 hours, and you keep stretching members to work till middle of the night, you keep stretching members to work till 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 p.m., under very strenuous circumstances, you are putting too much stress on the lives of members of Parliament. And so when the rules give time allocations for business, we need to insist on ensuring that we keep to those times, because those times have implications for the health of members. So the standing orders are very clear. 77 says, the 77.2 says, question time shall ordinarily not exceed 1 hour, except that the Speaker may permit a question after the expiration of the time stated. So we decided, let's discuss this. Let's keep to time. How do we ensure that we keep to the 1 hour? We then took that 1 hour, multiplied it by the number of minutes we have in that 1 hour, multiplied it by the average 12 weeks that we have. Then we now decided to divide those number of minutes by the number of parliamentarians and to give every parliamentarian a certain average number of questions to ask. And then we zeroed in on the average time. Then we said, okay, how many minutes should suffice for asking questions? We took the various questions, and we ourselves at the committee meeting attempted to read every question averagely. And we saw that averagely every question You even spend far less than a minute to ask the question. Then we analyzed the answers. Then we saw that the ministers themselves give us long, unnecessary answers. So a minister is asked a simple question, then the minister will go on a long statement of background before he comes and answers the question. So we concluded that we need to tackle the question from the side of the minister and tackle the question from the side of the MP, and then also provide guidance to the speaker. So we will talk to the ministers and say, when you are asked a question, stick to the answer of the question. Don't give us a 5-page statement only for us to analyze, and it is only 3 paragraphs that really constitute the answer to the question. What you do is that out of your 5-page question, you open it up for MPs to now be asking follow-up questions on the backgrounds that you have given. And so you see MPs veering away from their questions and now picking on all the things that you have said in your background statement and asking follow-up questions. And that excites interest. Then we'll drag on, and instead of 1 hour, we end up spending 3 hours on question time. So we'll tackle the problem from the angle of the ministers. Then we zeroed in on the 6 minutes on the average so that everybody will have an opportunity in one meeting to ask a given number of questions. That's how we arrived at it. If you want to see how it works in other jurisdictions, please monitor question time in the UK. Monitor question time in other advanced democracies, parliamentary democracies. You will see clearly that when they say 1 hour, it is exactly 1 hour. They will not go beyond the 1 hour unless under exceptional circumstances. And that is where our standing orders picked up those practices and captured in our rules that it is 1 hour. And we're not going to allow you to go beyond the 1 hour. It is clear, unless the speaker decides under exceptional situations that, okay, I will exceed that 1 hour due to certain exceptional circumstances. If I say that let's follow our rules, I'm not being a dictator. If in the past we have not been following the rules, it just means we've been doing the wrong things in the past. And if we are asking ourselves to start doing the right things, how does that convert somebody into a dictator? Mr. Speaker, the same principle applies to statements. The rules are very clear in Order 94. That the statement should ordinarily not exceed 1 hour. So we're saying that how many statements can we take within an hour? So we all agreed that it should be 3 statements. There was a proposal that it should be 4 statements. Then we said 2 should come from this side, 2 should come from the other side. And I argued that if you do that, you'll be unfair to this side, because we have, 188 on this side, and we have, a little over 88 on this other side. So if you say that we share statements equal, then it means that many people on this side will not have the opportunity to present statements. So in fairness, if we agree on 3 statements a day, allow 2 on this side, and then 1. So everybody gets an opportunity to present 1 statement. That is how come we concluded on the average 3 statements per day in this House. This was done, argued, everybody was there, it was fair. So I plead with you that we've been doing the things that are wrong doesn't mean that we should continue doing them. And I do not do these things out of a real... Look, the other day, we're working on the scholarship bill. I got a lot of text messages from parliamentarians that we are exhausted, we are tired. Leaders, save us. I had to run back and came here and stopped it. Because I could see that people were tired. People were tired. So if we start at 2, it is difficult to stretch people up to 8 o'clock, 9. But if we start at, 10 o'clock, your body clock, by 8 you are still awake. Your body clock. But you'd have worked from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. So I'm pleading with you. I have no intention of being dictatorial or being oppressive. What will inure to the benefit of our health as members of parliament, our survival, our longevity, If Honorable Mohammed Anta, the former finance minister, were here, he would tell you. One day he crossed the other side to tell me that, leader, I think you should ask every member to go to Kolebu for a certain particular check. And that because of the stress, there's a particular ailment that we are susceptible to. I didn't know until a doctor drew my attention to. And when I checked, I realized that, it was real. So please, can you tell every member to go? And is there a way we can reduce the stress on members of parliament? Mohammed Amin Anta is here. If you ask him, he will tell you. So we are doing everything possible to reduce the burden, reduce the stress on members of parliament, so that we don't see the kind of incident that we are seeing in this house, where we just lose members, and when you go and check, it is stress related. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, on what Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah asked, I will follow up. It is good for the ministers when they launch a policy to come and then present the policy to us as members of parliament. For our information, it is good, and then also for us to debate and sometimes make recommendations that will enrich the policy. So I do agree with him. I've actually passed it on, and we'll see how we get those policies laid in the House. Subsisting reports should be taken. Yes, that is what we've been pushing. And then the statement says that we should limit questions to 10, but on some days we have scheduled more than 10, so clerk at table, if we can amend and then shift the questions to days that we have fewer than 10. Our attention was drawn to the responsibility of Ways and Means Committee to ensure that we have our reports presented by the various committee chairpersons. 1D, 1F briefings, I think we have debated this severally in this House, and we actually existing factories, all clustered in Accra, Tema, Takoradi, were demanding that they should also be given tax exemptions for tax waiver for their businesses. And we as a minority said we are not opposed to giving anybody tax exemption to facilitate a business. But that is taxpayers' money. So if you are asking us to give it to you, we will insist that you comply with the law, and we treat it as equity of government in your business or as a loan, so that when you do the business and you are making profit, you can buy back the equity and then proceed to own your business. That has been our position on the matter. But we are opposed to just giving blanket tax exemptions. IMF regulations, IMF rules, IMF policies say that we are wasting money, and yet we come to them asking for money. You have money with a businessman, you won't take it, you've waived it for him, then you come to IMF saying they should give you money. Why would they give you money? So these are all issues that don't look well for the finances of the country. We are willing to give you whatever tax waiver you want, but let's treat it as a credit to your company. If you have a business, we say establish a factory. The factory is $1 million. You have $800,000. $200,000 amounts to tax of government for you to import the equipment to establish the factory. We say, look, we can treat the $200,000 as credit to you. So bring the factory equipment, come and set it up, and 20% of the factory is government equity. If you don't want us to participate in your business, let's treat it as a credit. When you establish the business and you are making profit, you pay back. I mean, it's a laudable proposal and it's in our legislation. So I don't know why anyone will be opposed to this and insist that by hook or crook, we must give factories exemptions and then government will run on what? Because we run on the taxes. Your salaries are paid on the taxes. Mr. Speaker, I think we also will look at the problems of the students in Memphis. I think that some of these things actually are the urgent questions that should be asked in this House. Urgent questions. These are real urgent question subjects that should be asked in this House. But if the minister is available to respond, I'm sure we will do that. Then releases by NHIA and then Get Fund. I think that these are matters that normally we discuss during Committee of the Whole meetings. We are following up. I believe that the Common Fund, the NHIA, indeed, the Finance Minister was in this House, and the Finance Minister briefed this House and reported that since he assumed office, on a monthly basis, the NHIA releases have been going, and the hospitals have been receiving and accessing their monies. And so I'm surprised that a claim is being made in this House that NHIA releases are not coming. I can also confirm that I have spoken to the Common Fund Administrator, and the releases are going to the various assemblies. That I can confirm because based on the issues raised in this House, I made calls and asked them, and they confirmed that releases are going to the various assemblies. Mr. Speaker, Get Fund is paying. I've received confirmation from some contractors that Get Fund, has paid them. The chairman of the board is here, and he can, confirm that they have been paying contractors. Mr. Speaker, I think those are the issues that have been raised. Don't forget, Mr. Speaker, don't forget, honorable colleagues, that all these proposals that the Business Committee has made, they are all subject to the discretion of a speaker based on certain circumstances. All these proposals, even though they may be adopted by this House, the speakers maintain the discretion as stipulated in our rules in certain circumstances to allow question time to go beyond the 1 hour. They maintain the discretion to allow follow-up questions to run for as long as the speaker thinks it is necessary based on the exigencies of a particular question and the answers given to that question. So please, let's have confidence in the speakers to exercise the discretion fairly and properly in our favor when the need arises. I think also the issue of the delegations to the various parliaments, we are still talking to each other to be able to come to some consensus. And if that is not possible, then we will have to find a way of adopting the reports. But we'll take them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, in view of the regulation of time, I intend not to take more comments. I intend not to take more comments. And honorable members, let me add my voice in indicating that the business statement as presented today is within our rules. The business committee have not done anything outside the rules. And it is important for this to be made clear to members. Honourable members, business statement is regulated by Standing Order 71, 1 to 3. So we need to take that into consideration. 2, question time is regulated by Standing Order 77-2, and it is 1 hour. Honourable members, our own rules in Order 94 regulate statement time, and it is also 1 hour. And honorable members, understanding order 216 2B, the business committee can recommend the allotment of time to this house. Therefore, if within our rules, the business committee, made up of members from both sides, are recommending allotment of time, I do not think they are doing anything outside the rules that governs the House. Accordingly, that cannot also amount to abuse of majority. I would therefore direct that the statement, that the business statement recommending allotment of time within the rules amount to abuse of majority be expunged from the record. On that note, the business statement as presented is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader. The next item is item 7, urgent questions.
Mr. Speaker, I got word from the Attorney General and Minister for Justice that he is unavailable this morning to answer the questions, and his deputy is also in court. So his deputy is also unavailable to answer the questions. So I want to apologize on his behalf to those who have slated questions this morning for answers from the Minister for Justice and Attorney General so that we can reschedule the questions. Mr. Speaker, in view of that development, item number 7, I will not be able to take them. So I plead that we vary the order of business, and if there are some admitted statements. Pardon? Where is it? And then also we have an order paper addendum, which has some mining lease agreements that we've been calling on the minister to bring to the House. Some of the agreements are here, and I'm sure that we're eagerly waiting for them to be laid. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources is not here, but there is a minister that, Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, we can have him lay the agreements so that they can be distributed to members. Mr. Speaker, that is my current application.
Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, we just heard from the Majority Leader indicating that the Attorney General and Minister of Justice has told him he is unable to be here. He also tells us that the Deputy AG is in court. So, Speaker, the practice, as I know, is that if for some unavoidable reasons a Minister of State is unable to come, he would write way ahead of time and indicate when he will be available to attend upon the House. Unfortunately, on this occasion, there is no such communication to the table office. The leader of government business is my colleague. Upon receipt of the information, he couldn't reach out to me. He is only informing the House. And he doesn't also indicate when the Attorney General will make time to come to this House. Mr. Speaker, I find this development unfortunate. These questions have been pending for far rather too long. There hasn't been a communication from the AG's office. Anytime you schedule, the Minister of Justice, for some reason, will not appear. So, Mr. Speaker, if a Minister of State who is a member of Parliament will not make time for Parliament, then, Mr. Speaker, I don't know how else we can function. Oftentimes, we are admonished that as parliamentarians, we should use the tools available to us to engage in the public discourse. If you are using these tools and the minister does not make himself available, then, Mr. Speaker, what else can you do as an MP? Mr. Speaker, if you look at all the questions, there are 5 questions. All these questions are very critical questions, and they are matters that have been in the public space. The minister has had the chance to be talking about this on radio through press conference. Now, this is House of Parliament. This is a place where the people's representatives would have the opportunity to interrogate the matters. Yet, he is not making time for us. He is not even indicating his availability. Mr. Speaker, especially if you look at the 7C, the question about Iyoko's administrative decision to demand bail with justification. Mr. Speaker, these are pure constitutional matters. And it affects human rights. And Mr. Speaker, Iyoko continues to arrest people and demand of them to provide property, landed property, titled before they are built. And people sometimes, because they don't get the property, they stay in for 2 weeks. The latest example is Mr. Annan, the former chief executive of Buffer Stock. We had the former security chief, Kwabena Dubois, suffering the same fate. Mr. Speaker, so if the AG is unavailable to deal with a thing like this, it becomes very problematic. On the issue of authorization of the arrest of Professor Ameyo Kumfi, the AG himself on record said he authorized the investigative body to arrest the person. Mr. Speaker, nowhere in our constitution is the Attorney General given the power to order a person's arrest. Nowhere. So this is a matter that if he comes, we can interrogate. But Mr. Speaker, again, we continue to postpone. He is not here, he is not written. And for how long, Mr. Speaker? The issue of nolle prosequi, people are concerned. Is there something of selective justice? Where some people are being hauled to court, are being investigated, and for others, they are being told that we are not interested in prosecution. So, Mr. Speaker, I will plead with you, by way of conclusion, that the Attorney General who received the information should, at least by close of day, the leader of government business who received the information should at least get back to the AG to give us an indication in the shortest possible time to come and answer these questions. It's been pending for rather too long. I would even suggest that Monday we are sitting. No, Monday they have a program in terms of the Northern. Okay, right. I thought the Northern, the Association of Northern MPs, they are having a program in Tamale. They've invited me, so I thought Monday will not sit. But since Monday will be sitting, let it be communicated, Mr. Speaker. You have the power to direct that it be communicated to the AG to make himself available on Monday to answer these questions. Then after that, we can all go back. We can go to Tamale to launch the Northern MPs Conference of Northern MPs. Leader, my plea is that you. Pardon? No, but I'm told we will sit before. Are we sitting on Monday respectfully? Oh, okay, very well. Mr. Speaker, the AG indicates that he will not be here. The leader of government business, are you going to be the AG? I've called you AG 3 times. I've called you AG 3 times. I don't want to be a prophet, but if you get there too, I'll get my peace of mind here. If you go to the Attorney General's office and leave this black chair, I will have my peace of mind. Mr. Speaker, that's on a lighter note. Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business has indicated off record that Monday will be quite problematic. So then we can look at Tuesday, and this should be communicated to him to make himself available. I thank you.
Thank you very much, honourable members. The application before me is to vary the order of business so that we can take the items numbered 9 and that of the other paper addendum.
No, Mr. Speaker, yes. The items on the main order paper
numbered 9.
Numbered 9, and then
the other paper
addendum, yes.
Honourable members, yes.
Mr. Speaker, are we starting from the order paper addendum or the main order? We'll start with the main. On which item, leader?
Honourable,
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Deputy Whip, whilst I'm speaking. Honourable members, fortified by Standing Order 67-2, which reads, the order of business set out in the order paper may, by leave of the Speaker, be varied at any time. I accordingly grant the leave, and the order of business is varied. I will consequentially direct that the urgent questions scheduled for the Attorney General and Minister of Justice be rescheduled suitably as soon as possible. So, item numbered 9, at commencement of public business. 9B. Minister responsible for gender, children, and social protection.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection for the year 2024.
Honourable members, the report has been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Gender, Children and Social Protection. Item numbered 9C. Honourable members, before taking the item numbered 9C, may I have your pleasure to acknowledge the presence of our student visitors in our midst. Honourable members, we have students from Aristoland Montessori Center, led by Gideon Yao Ajay, a teacher. They are from Kroa constituency and they numbered 68. We also have students from Ayensuako Catholic Basic School, led by Mr. Ajepon Emmanuel. Ayensuako Parliamentary leader. They are from Ewutu Senya West constituency and they numbered 52. We also have Himan Integration School Complex, led by Christian John Ampedu, Assistant Headmaster. They are from Prestia, Uni Valley constituency, and they numbered 65. We have Atefua Senior High School, led by Mr. Abu Wahab, NCCE patron for Atefua Senior High School. They are from Odan. They numbered 65. Honourable members, on your behalf, I welcome them to Parliament of Ghana. May you have a fruitful visit. Thank you for coming. Yes, item numbered 9C.
Right Honourable Speaker, I crave your indulgence so that you will permit Honourable Felix, Minister responsible for Government Communications, to present the item on behalf of the Minister responsible for health.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any difficulty in that.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Center for Plant Medicine Research for the year 2024.
Honourable members, the annual statement has been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Health for consideration and reports. Item numbered 9D.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana Tourism Authority for the year 2024. Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the National Theatre of Ghana for the year 2024.
Honourable members, the annual statements have been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Local Government, Chieftaincy, Culture and Religious Affairs. Or is a Committee on Chieftaincy, Culture and Religious Affairs? Yes. Yes, Honourable Member.
Yeah, the tourism authority one is for trade, and the other one is for culture, chieftaincy and culture.
Honourable Member, the National Theatre is not also under tourism? Honourable Hotoje, National Theatre, is it not under tourism?
The tourism is divided into two. One part is for trade, and the other part is for chieftaincy. So that one is for chieftaincy, and then the one for Ghana Tourist Board, the Ghana Tourism Authority, is for trade.
The Ghana Tourism Authority
is for trade.
It's not under chieftaincy.
No.
It's under trade.
Trade, yes.
Well,
but
table
the theater, that is a committee. That is an agency under tourism, and that part is for trade committee.
Which one is for trade?
The Tourism Authority one is for trade. The Tourism Ministry, what I want to explain here is that we have committee for trade, industry, and tourism. But that committee, some of the agencies under tourism are under trade committee, but some of the agencies under tourism are also under chieftaincy and culture. All issues concerning creative arts and others, they are under chieftaincy. But the issues of tourism itself is under trade. So the tourist board, the tourist
I need to be guided. Honourable Member, as we cross-check, can we defer the item numbered 9D? Yes, majority Chief Whip.
Speaker,
I'll come to Honourable Chair.
Speaker,
yes.
indeed, the Speaker, you have led us in this matter that the departments, the nomenclatures of the departments are such that the functions that the committees exercises vary depending on which agency. So, having a long-standing member of trade, the agency and the Ministry of Trade, which is the Ghana Tourism Authority, the Tourism Development Fund, the Ghana Tourism Development Company, the SEDICOM, all those agencies that are under the Ministry of Tourism, it is trade, the trade committee that exercises oversight in respect of their activities. So what the chairman for trade is saying is accurate, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Chair Asamoah.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I was just rising to collaborate the statement that was made by the chair for tourism. As far as the National Theatre is concerned, it's being oversight by the Chieftaincy Culture and Religious Affairs Committee. And so that report should be referred to Chieftaincy Culture and Religious Affairs Committee.
So the item on the National Theatre should be referred to the Chieftaincy Culture and Religious Affairs Committee.
Exactly so.
But the Tourism Authority should be referred to Trade. Guided accordingly, the items are appropriately item numbered 9D, I appropriately referred to the Trade Committee, and 9D, II referred to the Committee on Chieftaincy, Culture, and Religious Affairs for consideration and reports. Then, honorable members, let's turn to order paper addendum. Presentation of papers. Yes, Majority Leader.
The Minority Leader and
Deputy Minority Whip have agreed that Honorable Felix will present the papers on behalf of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, particularly because the advocacy that has led to some of these mining lease agreements coming has been led by people on their side. So I'll be surprised if they have any objection to the mining lease agreements being presented to this House, because an objection will only delay the timing of the arrival in this House of the mining lease agreements. Because week after week, you've been on me to make sure that the mining lease agreements get to this House. They are here, and you don't want them late. Mr. Speaker, it's obvious that they want it late, so they have no objection. They have agreed that Felix, Honorable Minister for Government Communication, will lay on behalf of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Honorable Majority Leader, I will still want to hear from them. Yes? Minority Leader? Minority Leader? Minority Leader, there is an application on the floor. The application is to the effect that the Minister responsible for government communication should lay the item for the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Am I being ignored? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, you can never be ignored. Thank you.
Honourable members, silence means consent. Minister for Government Communication, you may proceed to.
Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and Newmont's Golden Ridge Limited for the mining of gold at Achim West, 16.59 square kilometers in the Brim North District of the Eastern Region. Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Newmont Golden Ridge Limited for the mining of gold at Achim East, 47.67 square kilometers in the Brim North District of the Eastern Region. Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Gateway Exploration Limited for the mining of gold at Abobechao, 33.37 square kilometers in the Brim North District of the Eastern Region. Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and GBF Associates Ghana Limited for the mining of gold and other minerals at Intotroso, 49.77 square kilometers in the Sutifi North District of the Ahafu region. Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Nabosu Goldfields Limited for the mining of gold at Damang, 52.39 square kilometers in the Wassa West District of the Western Region.
Honourable members, the mining leases have been duly presented, and the item numbered 1 to 5 on the order paper addendum are all referred to the Committee on Lands and Natural Resources for consideration and reports. Yes. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think you have admitted any statement. There's a statement? It's on the screen. Oh, okay. So, Mr. Speaker, if...
Yes, there are statements.
Okay, then we can go to statement time.
Honourable members.
Mr. Speaker, before we get to the statement, I have a very simple application, and I want the leader of government business to take it up. I wish the Minister of Land were here to have dealt with it. Mr. Speaker, regarding the matters that were raised by the President on the 15th of July in Western North, Mr. Speaker, this is what the media is quoting the President to have said in his thank you tour. He said, "We are alarmed by the environmental destruction that is reported across Awaso, Dadieso, and Seshuanyaso, mainly due to illegal mining. I must be honest, this is a national emergency. The National Task Force will continue its effort to halt illegal mining in our forest reserves and on our water bodies." Unquote. I wanted to plead with the Minister and the leader of government business that in the light of this, if the Land and Natural Resources Minister can come to Parliament and get MPs to rally around this. I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. President has acknowledged this and he's put in place a task force. If the minister can get MPs on board so that we understand the depth of the situation and all support, Mr. Speaker, this is not a time to do partisan politics. This matter must be dealt with. Yesterday, the Water Resources Minister talked about Ghana Water, the problems they change facing. And I want to pledge my support on this matter so that all of us get involved. Mr. Speaker, the situation is getting out of hand. I don't know the pleasure of leader of government business, but this is what I really would want to say so that as a house, we can all add our voice because the situation, Mr. Speaker, is really getting out of hand. That is all my prayer.
Yes, Majority.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem. I think the minister has been to this house in the early days to give an indication the number of measures that he is putting in place. I think that the opposition is not to the need to do something. It is how we couch it. When you get up and you say the situation is getting out of hand, when you use the word getting out of hand, I will oppose you because you know that the situation was bad. The situation was bad. And we met a very bad situation and we took very drastic measures. You yourself have on several occasions spoken about the number of excavators that we have seized. We've told you about the directives that we have given regarding importation of excavators. There are excavators parked at the ports that cannot be cleared because we want to be able to track all excavators so that they don't get into the forest areas. If you block it at the port, it won't get to the forest areas. Those that are there, we've seized them. So they are not functional. We've told you how we have reclaimed many of the forests. So those are matters that we have dealt with. It's a bad situation and we are confronting it. So it is how you present it. But I agree with you. The minister should come and update us. It is a serious matter, so we may do with periodic updates. Because I remember immediately after his appointment as minister, he came on a number of occasions, read statements here. We had a conference at Kempinski, we the ministers, with the stakeholders, and with the MPs, with the stakeholders, and we discussed the measures that they were going to implement with the Minerals Commission and the Forestry Commission and the Minister for Fisheries. They all came. We discussed all these things. So I agree with you. We should have an arrangement where he comes periodically to update us. So I will convey the message to the minister so that he avails himself and then gives us
a briefing on where we stand in terms of the Galamsey fight and how to reclaim the environment. So I agree with him. I will get the minister informed. We'll try and schedule him to come to the House.
Yes.
Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker, just to correct an earlier impression created by the leader of government business in the early part of his submission. Mr. Speaker, the issue of Galamsey getting out of hand is not me saying it. I was actually quoting Mr. President, and I have the quote. So, very well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the 15th of July, in the Western North, on a thank you tour, Tuesday, Mr. President said this, quote, "We are alarmed by the environmental destruction that is reported across Awaso, Dadieso, and Seshui Ahuaso, mainly due to the illegal mining. I must be honest, this is a national emergency. The National Task Force will continue its efforts to halt illegal mining in our forests, reserves, and our water bodies." End quote. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I am corroborating this position taken by the President with the position of organized labor on May Day. Same words. And organized labor also reiterated that, look, the situation is getting out of hand. That is not me. I've not been to our forest reserves. I've not been there. But organized labor has a whole research infrastructure. For the TUC Secretary General to come out publicly on a May Day in a statement to say that the Galamsey situation is getting out of hand, and for our president to acknowledge the alarming situation, only calls for all of us to work at it. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my respected colleague, the majority leader, that I do not raise this issue with any partisan intent or that I want to score any political point. No. The matter, no, with respect, colleagues, this matter, if we want to trace the history of Galamsey, as far back as 2015, Honorable Setekwe, I was a member of the Finance Committee. He came to meet us when cocoa production was going down. And he lamented that because of Galamsey, people were cutting down their cocoa trees, and that was affecting cocoa production, and it was affecting the economy. So I don't want any of us to think that a party will get advantage by saying this or that. The thing is a national emergency. If the minister himself would be candid, he would tell us how he feels frustrated about this Galamsey.
Honorable Minority
Mr. Speaker, so I am not being partisan on this matter. Neither am I the one saying it is getting out of hand. So my colleagues should not have a problem at all. It is what is coming from the data.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you.
Your points are noted. We have a statement standing in the name of Honorable Haji Azuwera Mohammed Ibrahima, Member of Parliament for Salaga South Constituency, on child abuse in the New Ankansa community. Honorable Member, if the Honorable Member is not available, we then take a statement on teenage pregnancy. Yes, Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to make this statement in relation to child abuse cases in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I begin my statement by expressing my profound gratitude to the organizers of the recent Interparliamentary Union on Human Rights for convening a very vital workshop in Accra, Ghana. It was an honor to join fellow parliamentarians and human rights advocates in our shared vision to advance justice, dignity, and protection for all, particularly for the most vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, today I rise to address an urgent matter of national and global concern: the persistent scourge of child abuse and the critical need to safeguard the rights of vulnerable populations. Mr. Speaker, despite Ghana's robust legislative framework, including the Children's Act 1998, Act 560, and the Domestic Violence Act 2007, Act 732, child abuse remains a pervasive challenge. The 2023 Ghana Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey reveals that approximately 22% of children aged 1 to 14 experience violent discipline, with reports of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse occurring with alarming frequency. These violations, Mr. Speaker, not only contravene the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, to which Ghana is a signatory, but also jeopardize the physical, psychological, and social development of our children. Mr. Speaker, vulnerable groups, children, persons with disabilities, and marginalized communities face heightened risk due to systemic inequalities, social stigma, and inadequate protection mechanisms. Poverty, limited access to education, and weak enforcement of child protection laws further exacerbate these challenges. Mr. Speaker, as lawmakers and custodians of human rights, we must intensify our efforts to address these issues through the following measures. 1, strengthen legal frameworks and enforcement. Bolster the capacity of law enforcement and judicial systems to investigate, prosecute, and adjudicate cases of child abuse effectively, ensuring adequate resources and specialized training. 2, promote awareness and education. Launch nationwide campaigns to educate communities on the rights of children and vulnerable groups, fostering a culture of zero tolerance for abuse and encouraging the reporting of violations. 3, support victims and survivors. Expand psychosocial support, rehabilitation programs, and safe shelters to aid victims in their recovery and reintegration into society. 4, foster multi-sectoral collaboration. Encourage partnerships among government, civil society, traditional authorities, and international organizations to build a comprehensive and sustainable child protection ecosystem. Mr. Speaker, on 25th June 2025, whilst the Interparliamentary Union on Human Rights workshop was ongoing, a deeply disturbing video surfaced on social media depicting a 12-year-old child in a Ghanaian community bound by nylon ropes to a roof and brutally beaten by 3 adults. This shocking footage was first brought to my attention as I traveled to attend the Interparliamentary Union on Human Rights workshop, and it compelled me to act swiftly. I mobilized my network to identify the location of this heinous crime, and I was heartened by the rapid response that followed. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this opportunity to commend the Ghana Police Service for their swift and professional response in rescuing the 12-year-old victim depicted in the viral video. As confirmed by the Regional Police Headquarters in 2nd D, The 2 suspects were arrested. The child received immediate medical attention before being reunited with his father. This decisive action underscores the importance of a zero-tolerance approach to child abuse and serves as a model for effective intervention. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, protecting children and vulnerable groups is not only a legal obligation, but a moral imperative that reflects our society's values and commitment to human dignity. As parliamentarians, we have the power to enact transformative policies that ensure every child and vulnerable individual thrives in an environment free from abuse and discrimination. Let us reaffirm our collective resolve to champion human rights, protect the vulnerable, and build a future where every child in Ghana and beyond can live in safety and dignity. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Honourable members' statements duly presented. The floor is now open for comment. Honourable leaders, today being Friday, how many do we take on each side? Then I'll give the floor to Honourable Chumesi Yampofu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also commend the maker of this statement, Honorable Zuela, for the child abuse. Mr. Speaker, a lot of children goes through a lot. Physically abuse, mentally, and emotional abuse. Mr. Speaker, some parents themselves abuses a lot of their child or their children. Therefore, it's important for us to look at it critically, especially the child that cannot talk. They abuse them, and also the caretakers or the caregivers or babysitters also sometimes abuse some of this case by giving them some drugs for them to sleep so that they can be quiet and do whatever they want. And, Mr. Speaker, it affects the case a long run. If you go to most advanced countries where they have cameras, hidden cameras, that's where most of this comes out. They go, some of them will beat them under their armpit so that the parents themselves will not see anything. But they will be abused, they will be harming them physically. So, Mr. Speaker, this child abuse has so many forms that this case goes through. Therefore, it's about time for us to protect this case. Some also physically abuse them by beating them, by insulting them, to affect them, by undermining them, underestimate them. And sometimes the way some parents or some adults will look at some case, it affects them emotionally and physically. Therefore, it's important for us to look at it critically about this child abuse. Mr. Speaker, I don't have much to say by thanking you for giving me the opportunity to add my voice. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable John Dako.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I thank the maker of the statement, Honorable Hajia Zuera Mohammed, for this all-important statement on child abuse. Madam, you have done a very good job. In your statement, you asked the House and the members here to strengthen the legal framework and enforcement of our laws. And I cannot agree more with you. In this country, we have a lot of laws to protect the children of the country. We have the Children's Act, we have our Criminal and Other Offences Act, Act 29, and a lot of provisions that protect...
Honorable John Dako, hold it. Second Deputy Speaker should take the chair. Please continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So we have a lot of laws that protect the children of this country. What we have always lacked is the enforcement of our laws. And Mr. Speaker, as Madam has made this statement, it is my hope and belief that our law enforcement agencies will be up to the task to punish the offenders of these heinous crimes. We understand the purpose of punishment. One of them is to deter people from continuing violations of our laws. And so, Mr. Speaker, whilst thanking the honourable member for the statement ably made before this House, I hope that our law enforcement agencies will also listen to us, punish offenders, and make sure those who even think of engaging in some of these heinous crimes will know the punishments and run away from it. Mr. Speaker, on that, I thank you for the opportunity and I yield the floor. Thank you.
Yes. Pusuga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement ably made by my colleague, Honorable Zuira. Mr. Speaker, the issue of child abuse has been discussed on this floor severally, but unfortunately, it continues to happen. The issue that Hajia Zuira has brought to bear now is an issue that I actually posted the video on our platform. It was very pathetic, Mr. Speaker. According to later findings, the boy is about 12 years. Mr. Speaker, it's quite pathetic because there was no room at all given to that boy for escape. No room at all. Mr. Speaker, his two hands were tied. He was completely naked, not wearing anything, and he was hanged. And if you saw the macho man and the way he was raising the stick and beating the boy, the first thing that occurred to me was that, no, this is not their son, or this is not their child. Because it was quite horrible. And people stood around, Mr. Speaker. That is the painful aspect. There were people who stood around. Although we could see some of the women clutching their hands and looking very sad, but some had the impudence to be videoing, and yet nobody could save the child. Mr. Speaker, there was an elderly man. My pain is just on him, because at his age, he shouldn't allow such a child who is just about his grandchild to be given that type of treatment. I was even wondering whether the child will survive. I was wondering. Because to have hanged him, it came to a time that he couldn't weep, he couldn't do anything, he was just there and they were beating him. Mr. Speaker, it will shock you to know that at the end of it, the old man, and later on, reading and finding out, it is that he was carrying a container, a small container like a cup of pepper. Mr. Speaker, pepper, and was rubbing it into the wounds, even on the front and the bits of the child. I was so devastated. I just wondered. Mr. Speaker, some of these cases are of those children who have been adopted, the local type of adoption, not the good one or the one documented ones. Some parents give their children out to relatives to take them for whatever reason, I don't know. And this is how it ends. Mr. Speaker, this incident that is something that needs to be followed. It's an incident that needs to be followed. I spoke with the MP for the area, and he told me actually they were arrested and they are on remand. I believe that imprisonment would help. They should be imprisoned for not less than 5 years each, my humble suggestion. Mr. Speaker, with all humility, we should all be very conscious of our surroundings. And we should also make sure that we look around, and we should continue to give the education. Mr. Speaker, the abuse is not of only even children who might have been given out to their relatives, like they are going to support them and what have you. Even in our schools, you tend to see some of the incidents. A child comes home and then you find that his body marks tells you that he has been whipped. For whatever reason, I do not know. And the law says that no corporal punishment. And corporal punishment can only be given by the headmaster or by his instruction, and it should be a number of strokes just to correct the child. And yet we have it that a teacher, for whatever reason, would whip a child until the child have marks on his or her body. Mr. Speaker, it is quite unfortunate. The laws are there. Let us support the law enforcing agencies by giving them information, rightful information, and standing for them, standing for the children, and making sure that we are there for them to be prosecuted. Those who cause the harm are actually prosecuted. If they do not have the information, they are not able to act. And if we are not ready to stand for them to prosecute, they won't be able to do it. Mr. Speaker, the other thing is that parents must be ready to support law prosecuting agencies, because some parents will come out, oh, that is the uncle, that is the auntie, that is the mother. If the child had died, he will not be uncling anybody or will not be aunting anybody. So we must ensure that we also educate parents that when such a thing happens to your child and you are being called upon, if you will not be able to talk, stay away and let the law deal with those people. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to the statement. And let me say, well done, Honorable Zuwera, for the statements.
Yes. No. I mean, yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. I think child abuse in every form should be condemned because not only is it not good for the overall development of the child, but also it affects their future. Child abuse affects not only the physical development of the child, but also the psychological and emotional development of the child. And so I think that whatever form of abuse that a child is put through, as leaders of the country and as future leaders that we are bringing up, we should condemn it. In our part of the world, we tend to believe that, as the Bible says, you spare the rod and spoil the child. And we consider it to be physically abusing or beating the child as a way of training the child or giving discipline. I feel that we must come to a point where we show love to the children, that discipline must be a way that is not affecting them physically or psychologically. I want to add my words to say that we should find ways of disciplining the children without physically abusing them, so that they can develop into the leaders that we want. Studies have shown that a child that is abused physically grows up to become violent. And we want to grow leaders that will become very friendly, very responsible, and all of that. And in order to achieve that, we must show love to these children rather than physically abusing them. I urge that we all support the statement and ensure that children are trained and disciplined in a way that does not affect their psychological and emotional growth. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. I'm told the directive is 1-1. So, Honorable Member for Manson Quanta.
Mr. Speaker, we agreed to do one on each side. So we have exhausted ours. I believe we can move on. Yeah, that's in order.
We will take the second statement, and that is coming from Honorable Member for Swami. Honorable members, the arrangement that we all understood this morning is that statement we take two from the majority. We take one from the minority. That is what we agreed on. So we've taken one here, we are taking one here, then we come back here. I hope we are all on the same page. Yes, Honorable John Darko.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to make this statement on the green transition and its effects on auto mechanics in my constituency, the Swami constituency, and to a greater extent, the over a million mechanics across the country. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President, by Civil Service Instrument 2025 EI1, created the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. The creation of the said ministry, in my view, signifies the intent and direction of the President in respect of the nation's commitment to the 2015 Paris Agreement. It also shows the country's desire to gradually move from fossil fuel as a major source of energy to green sources of energy. Mr. Speaker, green energy is the energy source which has zero or minimum environmental impact, as more environmentally benign and more sustainable, and produced from solar, hydro, biomass, wind, geothermal, etc. It is believed that transitioning from the current fossil fuel, which is the coal, petroleum, and natural gas, so it is believed that transitioning from this current fossil fuel-based economy to green energy will help in the reduction of emissions and thereby saving the world from reaching the dreaded 2 degrees Celsius. Mr. Speaker, the green transition has led global shift towards the use of electric vehicles as compared to combustion energy vehicles. Mr. Speaker, this has significant implications for the country and my constituency in particular. My constituency is an industrialized area with many workshops for metal, artisanal engineering, and vehicle repairs, and provides direct and indirect jobs to about 500,000 Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, across the country, there are over 500,000 more workers who are also auto mechanics and depend on fixing combustion energy vehicles to make ends meet. Mr. Speaker, the embracing by the world, especially Europe and Asia, of the green transition has led to proliferation of electric vehicles into the world and in Ghana. According to the International Energy Agency, as of 2023, there were over 40 million EVs in the world, compared to 26 million in 2022 and 0 in 2013. Mr. Speaker, the former Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, told the country in 2023 that there were about 17,000 EVs in the country. We also witnessed the former Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, in 2024, leading the importation of some electric vehicles into the country for public transportation services. Indeed, the former administration had plans to introduce 1,000 electric buses and related charging and maintenance infrastructure for intra-city and intra-city transport services. Mr. Speaker, I know the introduction of EVs into the country sounds good for the country's nationally determined contributions to reducing emissions. But therein lies the difficulty my constituency faces. The introduction of EVs are going to cause serious job losses in my constituency. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing more important in nation building than job creation. Indeed, it is when the people have jobs that they can pay taxes to the government to build the needed infrastructure. It is when the people have jobs that they can take care of their families and their loved ones. The focus of every government, Mr. Speaker, including this government, I believe, is to create jobs. I'm therefore afraid that our fixation on green transition, in my view, will take away jobs from over 1 million Ghanaians whose jobs depend on fixing combustion energy across the country. Mr. Speaker, why do I say this? With the introduction of electric vehicles, combustion energy will be a thing of the past. With the phasing out of combustion energy, the workers who work on engine block, cylinder head, intake and exhaust valves, crankshafts, fuel system, lubrication system, gasket and piston pumps, timing belts, water pumps, and those who sell oil filters and engine oil across the length and breadth of this country are going to lose their jobs. Mr. Speaker, I know their counter-argument will be that as the world embraces renewable energy sources, as solar and wind power, and move to EV usage, there will be an increased demand for mechanics who are skilled in maintaining and repairing these advanced systems. And that this shift will open up new avenues for businesses, of business growth and specialization in EV maintenance and repair services. My question to this is, how many jobs will be created from this? Can the jobs that come with EVs replace the loss of millions? Even that, it requires an extensive training and upskilling of traditional auto mechanics to equip them with the knowledge and expertise required for the new technologies. What happens to our illiterate brothers and sisters, if I may put it that way, who have specialized in the combustion energy services enumerated above? Are we going to train our 50, 60, 70-year-olds who have gained decades of experience in those fields? Mr. Speaker, I'm afraid that as a country, we are so quick to accept concepts like green transition, energy transition, climate change, and the likes, but we do really nothing on our own to escape their harsh realities. Do we have the hand tools and diagnostic instruments to accommodate the specific needs of the renewable energy systems and electric vehicles? How have we invested in the modern workshops equipped with latest technology, which will obviously be essential to stay competitive in the evolving markets? Mr. Speaker, I know unfortunately my fear will come true. What was considered futuristic is now upon us. However, with the appropriate support and training programs, these individuals can be integrated into the green economy, ensuring that a just and inclusive transition for all. This is what I expect the ministry in charge of green transition to do. Our government, the government of Ghana, must be deliberate and purposeful in its approach to replace the job losses that will come with the influx of EVs. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I hope that like-minded colleagues will join me to lead a private member's bill which will mandate the executive to set aside funds to take practical steps to prepare our auto mechanics across the length and breadth of this country, and particularly my constituency, with the needed skills and technology to face the eventual future. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Swami. Honourable members, the statement has just been read to us. We will take one from each side. Yes, Honourable Member for Finso North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to commend the maker of the statement, the Honorable Member for Swami, on green transition and its effects. Mr. Speaker, green transition and advancement in technology is definitely going to disrupt jobs. But not only disrupting jobs, it's also going to create more jobs. In fact, ILO estimates that green transition and green jobs, it's estimated to be about 24 million by the year 2030. And in Africa alone, about 3.3 million jobs are going to be created as a result of green transition. In fact, United States now has about 6% of its job as a result of green jobs, and expected to be moving to about 14%. That means Ghana will not be different. Mr. Speaker, nobody will want to fight against green transition. Why? Because the auto mechanics are not only in Swami. When you come to Afensu North, in fact, Afrancho, Akumada, and Kinkers, we have auto mechanics there. But the sad truth is that our auto mechanics are exposed to toxic metals by the way of our work. You know, we moved from manual transmission cars to auto transmission cars, and now electric vehicles are here. I remember gone are the days when we used to take our carburetors out and use fuel to clean it ourselves. I could do it myself, but now I can't do it anymore. So we have to prepare our generation and the current workers to be able to appreciate the transition we are going through. That means that we should not just put in policies, but government should start investing heavily in electricity infrastructure and green energy. Because with this, we can develop more electric stations, because electric vehicles have come to stay. And in no time, the same way people were hesitant in moving from manual transmissions to auto transmission, same thing is happening. But by the time we realize, by 2030, we cannot count the number of automatic transmissions vehicles in Ghana, but it will be more of electric vehicles. That is why the previous government started by developing curriculum for how we can maintain electric vehicles. And this curriculum has already been developed. All that we need to do is not just put it on the shelves, but collaborate with all training institutions, public-private partnerships, to make sure that this curriculum are used to train and retrain our auto mechanics. It doesn't matter where they are. If we're able to do that, we can also promote local manufacturing. If we are worried about job creation, we need to start promoting local manufacturing. Because all the time we are importing our vehicles. When it was manual, we were importing. When it is automatic, we are importing. Are we also going to continue to import electric vehicles in Ghana or in Africa? For these electric vehicles, please, this is the time that the government has to put in all the policies and the strategies and the investment that will allow us as a country to also produce electric vehicles in this country. We have the mechanics, they have the skills. Go to Aboseyekan, they have the skills. If you come to, like I said, you come to Afensu North, Akumada auto mechanics have the skills. This is the time, and the time is now, that we have to make sure the investment in electricity and infrastructure that will support the development of electric vehicle and its usage, so that we can create the jobs here back home. It is the time for us to do that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, my brother, I've forgotten your constituency. Kindly remind me.
Whole Central, Mr.
Whole
Speaker.
Whole Central, yes. You took over from Almighty
Honorable
Podo. Yes. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me. If I understood my brother on his statement, his fear is that the mechanics at Swami will lose their jobs. and it calls for skills upgrade. But I want to make him aware that the engineers he sees in Swami, they are way ahead of even the EV cars. And I know that majority of them are upgrading their skills at a faster rate. So please, when you go to the constituency, try as much as possible to visit them and get the updates from them. They will even educate you that when the cars come, this is how we are going to handle them. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for indulging me.
Are you expecting? Honourable member, are you a mechanical engineer?
Oh, I have a lot of friends there.
As from magazine?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they are working hard. Day in, day out, they are on the net doing their researches. So they are not going to be put out of jobs. They are finding ways and means of surviving.
Thank
you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, my brother, member for Ho Central. Yes. I'm taking one in addition. Yes, Dr. Anaba. Yes, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I am very happy to hear my brother over here crying for the good people of Swami. I would cry for transformation of our educational system to meet current demands, because those in Swami today, by 5 years' time, 6 years' time, they may not be able to meet the exigencies of technology in this world unless they themselves transform themselves. So there will be the need for Ghana as a whole to look at our educational system to see whether the products of our education is meeting current demands for development. You look at a country like Zimbabwe, a country like Rwanda, they are manufacturing electric cars. Somebody has even manufactured a car that uses electro frequencies to move. And EVs have come to help the environment, because combustion that is incomplete, I think the environmentalists will tell you, would cause a lot of damage to we ourselves as human beings. If Ghana wants to stay up at the same level with other countries, we have to transform our educational system to ensure that we can also manufacture parts, because the EV cars are not done in one country. The parts come from several countries. Why can't we tweak our educational system to ensure that we teach what the formal MP has done? I will say it. The STEM system, whereby the children learn about robotics and then the rest early enough in their early life, so when they grow, they have the love for engineering, they have the love for technology, not book, and at the end, actually, they can't even service a bicycle when it's broken. So we need to tweak our educational system. It will give more employment. Look, a small EV car, if you go and count the components in it, there are several. Why can't Ghana also train our people, thousands of people, to manufacture some components of the EV trucks or the solar system or whatever? It will create jobs. So to think that introducing electrical vehicles in this country would take away jobs, to me, it can't be factual. It can't be proven anywhere. We rather need to upgrade our educational system to meet modern demands of technology and development. That is what I would say. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anaba. Yes, let me go to Ekuyapim North.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the maker of the statement. I think the issues also here goes to the very core of what many of our constituents also expect. Mr. Speaker, the advent of industrial revolution in Europe came with its own attendant job losses. But the government of the day made a deliberate effort at that time to make sure that its citizens were properly cushioned. If I also listen attentively to the maker of the statement, one of the cardinal recommendations that he also made was for the upgrade of skill and training for many of our people in the area of this auto mechanics, its repair and maintenance. What I find also comforting is that our people are always yearning to upgrade and also learn. I believe we need to embrace this whole green transition, because that's where the world is heading towards. But I'm also standing 100% shoulder to shoulder with him, because in his constituency, his competitive advantage is in the area of repairs, maintenance, and auto mechanics. And any disadvantage caused to the people there has also its own ripple effect. What I would also advise and challenge government to do is now you have the advent of the EV vehicles. You cannot stop its advent, this revolution, and they gradually even taking over greater space in terms of our automobile industry. But what we can do and do effectively is to make sure that government, through its own channels, if you take an institution like the Youth Employment Agency, you have many more young people, especially in the various modules that they also create to train people into jobs, and several artisanal training centers that they normally establish. I believe that the time then is now for us to also model some of the things we do to fit into government's plan towards the future. Because it's just like the issue of digitalization. Because nobody ever thought that the time will come that you don't have to be called to the Ghana Post to go and wait for a phone call from a loved one abroad. Now, through the mobile technology, you can be able to interact with friends and loved ones across. That is how the EV vehicles is also approaching this generation. So I'll commend the maker of the statement, but challenge government that let's not wait for it to take root across the country. Then we are now thinking about how to upgrade our people and give them decent conditions as well. And Mr. Speaker, for the Swami MP to know, this is not just going to affect Swami. It's going to affect even mechanics in Fomena and in Ekwapim North and across the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much for mentioning Fomena. Honourable members, we will take the last statement from Honourable Rachel Ousia Amma.
Okay.
Doma East constituency.
No.
And the statement is going to be on teenage pregnancy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Honorable, hold on. Give me some more time. Yes.
Speaker, I want to pray for your benevolent indulgence, for me to contribute or for... It's a very important subject matter, and
Let me hear you.
Colleagues want.
Honorable, give me small time. After his contribution, I'll come to you. Yes.
Can I speak or he speaks and I conclude?
No, I wouldn't give the two to you.
Okay,
I will just give you one,
me.
and if possible. Already the protocols we've established was that we should give...
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the initial idea was that if we are taking about 2 or 3 statements, we will do all the statements. And leadership will conclude and choose whichever ones they want to comment on. That was my understanding.
So, let me, Honorable Member for Doma East, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Right, Honorable Speaker, I rise to talk about a serious issue that affects young girls and our society, teenage pregnancy. As a midwife and a member of this House, I have seen how teenage pregnancy harms the health, education, and future of young girls. This issue needs our urgent attention, especially since my constituency, Doma East, ranks second in Bono region for teenage pregnancy, abortion, and HIV infections. Mr. Speaker, over the past 3 years, teenage pregnancy in Doma East has been rising. In 2022, there were 292 reported cases. The number dropped to 218 in 2023, but increased to 227 in 2024. These numbers show that we must take action to reduce teenage pregnancy and support our young girls. Mr. Speaker, There are several reasons for this problem. Poverty is a key factor, as families with little money may push young girls into relationships for financial help. Family problems, including the lack of parental guardians and unstable homes, can leave teenagers vulnerable. Many young people do not receive enough information about reproductive health, leading to risky choices. Peer pressure from friends can also lead to early sexual activity and some cultural practices, such as early marriage, and add to the problem. Mr. Speaker, teenage pregnancy has serious effects. Young mothers face health risks, including problems during pregnancy and childbirth. Some may turn to unsafe abortions, which can lead to serious health problems and even death. Many teenage mothers drop out of school, which limits their future opportunities. Without education and essential skills, they often face financial struggles, which can lead to poverty and risky behavior, including substance abuse and unprotected sex. Society often judges teenage mothers, which can lead to shame and isolation. Mr. Speaker, solving this issue requires teamwork from the government, non-governmental organizations, development partners and family, schools, and the traditional authorities, which need to improve access to family planning services, including contraceptives and condoms, and birth control for those who are sexually active and may not be able to abstain. Schools should teach young people about reproductive health, safe sex, and the benefits of abstinence. Traditional leaders, especially queen mothers, should promote cultural practices that encourage responsible behavior. Mr. Speaker, providing girls with sanitary pads can help prevent situations where they seek financial help from boys during their menstrual periods, where their parents or guardians are unable to provide. Keeping girls in school and offering skills training will help them build better futures. Creating girls' club focused on reproductive health will give young girls a safe space to learn, share, and receive guidance. Mr. Speaker, it will not be out of place for the government and development partners to offer skills training programs to these young girls who find themselves in this helpless situation. Otherwise, the cycle will continue. Honorable Speaker, teenage pregnancy harms both young girls and society as a whole. Families, schools, health workers, and the government must work together to solve this problem by giving our young girls knowledge, support, and opportunities. We can help them make better choices and create brighter futures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. The applause is high. Yes. So, no, let me give the opportunity to the ladies first. And some ladies, yes, let me come to you first. Then I'll go there. Reverend, I'll come to you, but let me. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And I would like to use this opportunity to also commend my sister, colleague, Honorable Rachel Owusu, for the statement. Mr. Speaker, teenage pregnancy has become a significant issue in our various communities across the country. And I think urgent solution, something needs to be done to control this situation. Mr. Speaker, the most painful aspect of it is that when the guy involved in this act is a student, he turns out going back to school, whilst the lady, the teenage girl, stays at home for 2 or 3 years before doing re-entry. At times, some of them don't go back to school at all. And if they don't get any support from anywhere, these teenage girls become a liability to the society. Mr. Speaker, last year during my campaign, I visited a certain community and I met a teenager who was pregnant. Looking at her age, I became so much interested in her. So I drew closer to her just to have a discussion with her. And surprisingly, I realized she became pregnant out of, she couldn't afford to buy sanitary pad. And per her story, she was advised by friends that she should go in for a boyfriend, that when she takes a boyfriend, the guy will provide everything for her. And so she took the advice from the friends, and then that was the end result, being pregnant and being dropped out from school. Mr. Speaker, I was so much glad when I heard His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in one of his policy, one girl, one sanitary pad, because I believe this will go a long way to help our youth to curb the teenage pregnancy situation in our country. Mr. Speaker, I would like to use this opportunity to also advise our men out there, the big men out there, that they should allow our little girls to grow. Yes, they should allow them to further continue with their education so that they will become some people or somebody responsible in future to help Mother Ghana. And then the girls too, please, I will plead with you, concentrate on your books. The truth of the matter is, when you grow and you become someone better in future, and you get married, you can decide to do this thing twice in the morning, afternoon, and evening. No one will question you. So please, that is the advice I'm giving to our little girls out there. Abstinence is the best key. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. I'll go to Abui. Is it Abui South?
Equiapem South.
Equiapem South. Equiapem South. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to comment on the statement ably delivered by my colleague, Honorable Rahel. Mr. Speaker, while her concerns are really valid, the situation is not isolated. In Equiapem South alone, Mr. Speaker, this situation is quite troubling. In 2023, we had over 100 cases in 6 months in Equiapem South. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, the situation doubled. This is a matter of urgent national attention, and I think we all need to pay attention to this issue of teenage pregnancy. Mr. Speaker, one major contributing factor I've come to realize is that parents nowadays do not protect their children or their girls as we used to in the past. Now you find young girls gallivanting on the streets at night, and men do take advantage of these young, beautiful ones. Mr. Speaker, I find it very sad when I see young girls being robbed of their future, and the men or the boys responsible for these pregnancies are left to walk on the streets freely. Mr. Speaker, this situation is unfair, and I think we really need to pay attention to the men who contribute to these teenage pregnancies of our little girls in our society. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I call on the government, I call on faith-based organizations, our communities, to increase education in our various schools, to make sure that young girls are really educated as well as the boys. So, Speaker, I have 4 boys, and I've already started schooling them on issues like this so that they will not bring any teenage child in my house, impregnating them. They dare not try that in my house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, if we fail to act now on this issue, we will be trapped in a situation where young girls are robbed of their future and trapped in cycles of poverty and social hardships. And this situation must be addressed. I call upon the government, traditional leaders, parents, and all our communities to join hands in educating our children, to train the girl and the boy child so that they will both share the responsibility of these teenage pregnancy issues. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I really want to commend my colleague, Honorable Rahel, Doma East constituency, for bringing such an important issue to the fore. And I believe from today, looking at my, what's the name, Honorable Education Minister, and Gender Minister, I'm looking right into the side of her from here. I believe that she will take this matter up and we will all work and join hands. I'm also encouraging all female MPs to model our young girls in our constituencies so that we can have a lot of young girls coming up, standing and representing us from our various constituencies in the few generations that lies ahead of us. So, Speaker, with these few words, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to contribute on this issue.
Thank you very much, Equiapim South. Let me go to Reverend Josso. I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I thank Honorable Rachel for this statement that is very urgent, and as a nation, we've got to do something about it. Mr. Speaker, the issue of teenage pregnancy is a complex issue. It's a combination of factors. That includes social and economic factors, which also includes lack of parental care, peer pressure, poverty, and inadequate knowledge about sexual health. Mr. Speaker, gone are the days where NCC, they were given the opportunity to educate children and the public about sexual health. These days, what do we see? Because of lack of resources, they are not able to do that. And also, our children, these girls and boys, are involved in drug abuse. It's also a contributing factor to teenage pregnancy. Then we also have lack of parental care. It's a responsibility of government, parents, and the individual that we've got to come together to make sure that we have a conducive environment for these children. Because if we have conducive environment for these children, they will not be lured into, picking petty sums of money from men who are so irresponsible, some of them who even go for these small girls. These things will, be prevented. And also, Mr. Speaker, if you go to communities, our community is not different from what happens in other communities, because the gender committee, we had the opportunity to go to Central Region, and the Queen Mothers met with us, and they were so happy about the rate at which they recording teenage pregnancy in the Central Region. And it's also as a result of, I have to say that the computer placement that was being practiced, where girls were posted to places far from where their parents are, and they were compelled to be day students. So these children, when they run out of their food items, they go to town, they are compelled to take 20 cedis from irresponsible guys, to be able to feed themselves. So I'm happy that the new Minister for Education is asking the children to actually choose schools that they want to attend. So I pray that the children will be sent to schools that will be closer to their parents, so that the parents will be able to monitor these children as to when they go out and come in. So I also pray that, Mr. Speaker, government will also take responsibility of, helping parents who are in poor areas, because poverty can lure one into doing what the person is not supposed to do. I also encourage these assemblies to also come out with bylaws that will prevent these children and going out after 6 o'clock, where funerals, you see these children dancing and the parents are not there. So, Mr. Speaker, the chief is saying that I should wrap up. So, on this note, Mr. Speaker, I pray that we all come together as one people to be able to help children in vulnerable areas. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll comment on the last two statements, since we didn't comment on the statement made by Honorable John Darko. Mr. Speaker, the issue of energy transitioning is really key. And I believe I have to commend my brother for making such a statement. Mr. Speaker, energy transitioning...
Which one are you commenting?
I'm commenting on the last two statements, the one made by Honorable John Darko, and then the one that has just been made. Because we didn't exhaust ours on that statement. So I'll comment on the two statements.
Very well.
So, Mr. Speaker, energy transitioning is happening at a fast pace across the world. And I believe Ghana, we need to be intentional to be part. Otherwise, we will be left behind. Mr. Speaker, energy transitioning means saving the environment. It means being efficient with the resources that we have. It means improving on our health. Because, Mr. Speaker, we will be releasing less carbon monoxide into the environment when we transition from combustion energy to the renewable energy that we have. But, Mr. Speaker, more specifically to the statement, the issue of our mechanics not having the needed skills to work on EVs, that is electric vehicles. The issue is, Mr. Speaker, a lot of the mechanics that we have now, they learn their skill using combustion energy. But now we have electric vehicles coming into the market, and the issue is, how do we cope? How would our mechanics transition to be able to work on electric vehicles? Mr. Speaker, if you think about it, for new mechanics to be, we can pass them through the TVET system and train them. But the question is, what about those that are already in the trade or already acquired the combustion technology? What do we do with them? Some of them, they are aged already. So they will struggle to go through the TVET system. How do we get them trained to be able to work on EVs? Mr. Speaker, the suggestion is that government could come on board to help forge some collaborations between the automakers through their dealerships and then the various mechanic hubs that we have in this country. So in the specific case that was put across by Honorable John Darko, we could have some of the mechanics from, let's say, Swami, collaborating with some automakers for training, either done locally here or elsewhere, whichever is convenient. And when this technology is acquired, I believe they can then share amongst their colleagues as they come back to the hubs. This could be replicated across the country, being at Bosokai or wherever that we need to train our mechanics. Mr. Speaker, this is urgent. Otherwise, we don't know how the EVs that are coming into the market, how we are going to maintain them. Yesterday, I listened to the Minister for Energy and Green Transitions,
as he made his presentation, he said government going forward is going to import some EVs to be given to government officials. So you ask yourself, if now it's becoming a government policy to bring in EVs to government officials, how are we going to maintain these EVs? So, Mr. Speaker, it is an urgent issue, and I believe if we forge collaborations, we will be able to train our mechanics that are existing to acquire the new skills. Mr. Speaker, on the statement made by my honorable lady, Mr. Speaker, I believe the subject of teenage pregnancy, the major issue there is lack of education, and education not necessarily being formal education going to learn whichever subject, but education in that particular subject of teenage pregnancy, what to do or what to know in order not to fall, a victim or to fall into traps. And such education, Mr. Speaker, I believe should not be limited to just the teenagers, but should be extended to parents, to be extended to families, to be extended to guardians, people that are close to such teenagers, to be able to share knowledge with such teenagers, because they are young, with all their exuberance, they want to try new things, and so on and so forth. They see things, on social media, they want to try, and a whole lot of risks around them. So I believe education is the way to go. Education, like I said, not only to them, but to the people around them who are molding them. And I believe if we have this going out to them and the people around them, I believe we'll be halfway addressing the issue of teenage pregnancy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Comfordoyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to add my voice. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the maker of the statement, and I would like to urge all Ghanaians to be careful when it comes to their baby girls. Mr. Speaker, the moment you give birth to a baby girl, she will reach a poverty age from 9 years, 10 years, 11, 12, 13. And she will start menstruating. Then quickly you should know now you have a fine baby girl, because the bobs will start coming. You have to start guiding your baby girl. Be honest with the baby girl and tell her that small thing you have been seeing with the boys, when they grow, it's dangerous, so don't go close to it. But we won't tell our baby girls. And the men will lure them as if it's for fans. They don't know. The girls, some of them are naive. They are innocent. They don't even know that thing can impregnate them. They don't even understand why women are pregnant. Tell them it's true that thing women get pregnant. So that thing called penis. It's true that thing that women get pregnant. So they shouldn't joke with it. They shouldn't go close to it. They should focus on their education. Mr. Speaker, when they get pregnant, don't ignore them. Bring them closer. At times, we ignore them because they are pregnant. And it's not a teenage girl a teenage boy who will make her pregnant. It's a man, a full-grown man who will make her pregnant. And the same man, as a father in the house, will start ignoring that baby girl. We are pleading. Give them the real education. Tell them what it is. Tell them that thing is not for fans. That thing is for baby making. So if you go closer, you will get pregnant and you will make babies. So if you are not ready for babies, don't go closer. That is what my mother told me. So if I see a man, I run. when I was young, my mother even told me that if the man touches you, you get pregnant. So me, I even thought if he touched me like this, I'll get pregnant. So if I see a man coming, I run. And I keep running till I get to understand that it is not just touching, but they will lure you to their house and they will make you pregnant. Let's be fair to our baby girls. Please, Mr. Speaker, when they get pregnant, they have not end their life. It's not a life sentence. They can still make it. Just allow them, have their peace, give birth, pick that baby from them, and allow them to go back to school. Education has no end. Recently, when Mr. Speaker announced a scholarship year, I'm even interested. And I want to go back to school.
Interested in what?
In the education, to go back and read. I'm interested. So if at my age, I still have interest in education, at that teenage girl age, just take the baby and allow her back to the classroom. Or she should go and learn a trade. She can still make it. It doesn't end there. So the perception, as if it's a taboo, she's pregnant. So people start, the stigmatization starts with it. We should stop it. Let's help them, educate them, when they catch them young. From 9 years, start teaching your baby girl. 13 years, she will be growing big. So start teaching her that these things, this is how it works, so that they don't fall victims. A lot of them are victims because they don't understand the whole thing. So they get them pregnant before they realize that not knowing what I was playing with was not fun, but it was something dangerous that can damage my future. So parents, we are pleading, be honest with your baby girls. They are growing big and they are growing nice. Guide them and let them have the right tutorial in the house so that they don't fall victim. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, may you permit me to contribute to the statement made by the Honorable Darko on the energy transition. I commend him highly, and I wish to, from the outset, say that, Speaker, right from Paris Agreement, the concerns and the narrative has changed. We have signed on to NDCs, the nationally determined contributions. We have signed on to protocol on Kyoto, and all the relevant conventions on the environment have been signed. Speaker, we are quick to sign these conventions, but implementation has always come in its wake as a challenge. I think generally, the honorable member's statement focused on the general output on energy transition, reduction of carbon credit, and the carbon footprint. And then he zeroed in on EVs. So that the need for EVs is not lost on us. In fact, we have a policy on electronic vehicles as a country. And we should be reverting our minds as to how its enforcement and implementation comes up. The renewable concerns, the world now has what we call the rare minerals, i.e. bauxite, lithium, etc. Speaker, Indonesia is producing its own solar panels because experts have said that close to 70% of the raw materials needed for the production of these solar panels, batteries, mobile phones, all come from these rare minerals. And many years after the discovery of these traditional minerals, gold and the likes, these rare minerals have become so important. And Africa has a lot of it. Ghana has a lot of it. We should be leveraging on these rare minerals and make Africa important in the energy transition. We lost out on the industrial transition, a number of transitions we've lost out as a continent. But the transition to renewable energy, Africa cannot be lost out because of the rare minerals deposit that we have. We have a lot of it, lithium, Congo, Ghana, across the West Africa sub-region. We'll have them in commercial quantities. And this is where I think the discussion should focus on. On the EVs, the Transport Ministry should be telling us what the preparations and works are towards the enforcement of the EV policy, i.e. charging outlets. We can't talk about EVs when these charging outlets are not being developed. We can't talk about EVs when the academia, it is missing. What is the academia doing about it? We can't talk about EVs when car garages and mechanics are not being tuned in terms of the preparations. So when we import these EV vehicles, or even when we manufacture these EV vehicles and they are faulty, who are the people who are going to resolve them? So these are fundamentals, and I think that it is not beyond us. It is not beyond us at all. Speaker, you are not a fan of referrals, especially in the face of the preponderance of referrals that are outstanding. I'm not sure if I make an application for you to refer this matter, you will accede to my request. We hope the Minister for Transport, the Minister for Environment will stay current and will also carry this House along in the context of this subject matter, and Ghana cannot be left out. We can borrow lessons. We don't need to reinvent anything. Indonesia has set the tone. Kenya, for instance, have liberalized their energy sector so much that private entities have been given the opportunity and have been facilitated to import these panels. And a lot of these panels are manufactured within. So I think we should take a cue from all these happenings and advise ourselves as a country. Speaker, I thank you and I'm grateful.
Thank you very much, Majority Leadership. Oh, Majority Leadership, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to contribute to the statement that, or all the statement, as we are doing an omnibus, we comment to a couple of the statements made by able members of Parliament, 3 people who made a statement. Mr. Speaker, the green transition is already here. Across the world, we have over 40 million of these EV vehicles that are driving around. Ghana, we have over 20,000 of the EV vehicles also here. The transition has begun. We need to transition all the areas that will support basically having this new technology. I don't think that the fact that we are going to have EVs means that we are going to be losing jobs. We will only do so if we don't retool and retrain the mechanics that we are worried that might lose their jobs. Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, if, just for instance, we have 1 million cars in this country, probably more than that, and they are on fossil fuel, Mr. Speaker, if we go to green transition in terms of having the EV, we will still have 1 million cars. The million that was on fossil fuel will need to be repaired, or they are being repaired at the moment. So will the new 1 million that will also come if we replace this, vehicles with EVs. So we have to be ahead of the curve. And being ahead of the curve is making sure that we are retooling our mechanics. They are getting the requisite training that they need to be able to repair these cars, because they still will be repaired. The only difference is that they will go on a different, if I can call it, a different fuel. One will be on electrical, the other, or the current one we have, is basically on fossil fuel. Mr. Speaker, but the problem is bigger than that. Because as the world moves away into the new technology, it means that the old technology that we have, for instance, Ghana is one of the, has joined the oil-producing nations as far as Africa is concerned. We produce fossil fuel here, which means that if all the vehicles should be moving and we no longer have a need for fossil fuel, our revenues that we get from oil will be going down. The question should be, how are we going to replace the revenues that we get from fossil fuel if we are no longer exporting them or using it ourselves domestically? Mr. Speaker, we should embrace the future and not be skeptical about it, that things will be bad. Not necessarily, Mr. Speaker. Things will only be bad if we don't embrace this new technology and make sure that we have actually trained people to take advantage of it. On the contrary, the new technology will rather bring opportunities into new areas that we will benefit from. And rightly, as a Minority Chief Whip said, a lot of these things that are going to happen to us with this new technology in terms of our energy space is actually in abundance here in Africa. Everything that is the new technology involves with this green transition is actually here. In fact, we are the world's suppliers of these kind of things. So we can use them domestically to manufacture our own cars and to produce energy, whether it's hydro, whether it's wind energy or what have you. It will be of advantage to us, and we will be able to create more jobs ourselves from it. We will also be able to earn more export revenue if we have them in abundance here and we are exporting them. So I don't think that we should be too worried, but we should rather position ourselves in such a way that we will take advantage of, so we don't lose out, as Minority Whip said, so we don't lose out as we have lost out in many new technology and many new developments in the world. Mr. Speaker, and lastly and not the least, is on the teenage pregnancy. Mr. Speaker, as many contributors have said, education is key. Mr. Speaker, I remember you and I were in school. We used to be taught human biology, which obviously teaches some of these things so that our kids will be aware of what the implications will be if you get into certain acts, and that you are going to have kids and all that sort of thing. So, Mr. Speaker, it's education, the awareness for our kids. And secondly, the idleness. If kids are idle, they don't continue their education. We don't train them for them to be able to be in a gainful employment. Then idle hands will play into many things. So, Mr. Speaker, these are the things that we need to do. And then, of course, when we have our kids have become pregnant, we don't abandon them, that you have gone and gotten yourself into this problem, so they should deal with it. We should remember first that they are kids, and they need all the support they can get, so that if they have to have these babies, they can get the support from the parents and to be able to get these kids back to school again, either to study or to train to do something. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, thank you very much. And I thank the makers of this statement. Thank you.
Very well. Let me thank the makers and the contributors for the statement. Honorable members, we will bring statement to a close and will ask you to indulge me to introduce our guest at the Speaker's Gallery, our guest from our colleague sister parliament in Kenya. And they are here.
Speaker, let me pray you that one more statement which also fell in the category of the long-standing ones, in the name of Honorable Afradechi, so that she could also make her statement today. Yes, on trade. Please.
So let me introduce my guest first.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
So they are here. I understand they came to meet the Foreign Affairs Committee. Is it Foreign Affairs Committee? Yes. So they are being led by Honorable Arin Nyakalalio Mayaka. I hope I'm able to have pronounced the name well. He is the leader of delegation. We also have Honorable Naisula Lesuda, who's also a member of parliament. Then we have Christine Owio, who is a member from the World Bank, Kenya. We also have Deborah Oyuga, who is an educationist, and Bernard Tolushitz, a clerk to the committee. I hope I was able to mention your names well. Very well. So you are welcome, and we wish you a fruitful stay here in Ghana. Thank you very much. Yes.
Speaker, my respected Chief Whip just mounted an application that we should do an additional statement. Actually, he was not in the House. We have adopted a business statement for the ensuing week.
This one is for, the application is for today.
And today, their side have presented two statements already. Speaker, we also have, there was one on child abuse and teenage pregnancy. And we have presented just one. Speaker, he should bear in mind that admission of statement and the presentation of statement is not done based on ratio. It's not on ratio. However, we also have a long list of statements because we have outstanding statements that have not been read. So if it is the case that he wants to do another one, there's no problem. We will also do one there, one here. Then we will be fine. Then that'll be fine.
Speaker, I was here when we adopted the business statements for next week. I was here. And Speaker, indeed, I was here when my brother was on his feet, made long contributions when the business statement was read. He didn't make me out, but I was here. Speaker, my plea is that when I came, I was informed that 4 statements had been agreed to be taken today. They were part of the long-standing statements. So this particular one is also part of it. But if my brother says that one should be taken additionally from the minority side, I'm all for it. The most important thing is that, Speaker, the statements are piling up, and suddenly we have a tall list of statements, such as we have for questions. So when the opportunities present itself like this, today we don't have a heavy business. We want to go, but we can allow the member to make the statement and rather limit the comments that members will make. Then we can make some progress. So my brother Ano, let me rather agree to your proposal. In support of my application, I agree that we should take additional one from your side, but limit the comments. Then we can bring today's proceedings to an end.
I was almost agreeing, and I just recollected that today is actually Friday. And Speaker, the New Patriotic Party waiting to come to government. We are waiting to come to government. And Speaker, we have our Congress. We have Congress. Speaker, we have, because of our Congress tomorrow, which is a very important event, the organization of parties, as you all do know, is important because it's the parties that will govern the country. And very soon, you will pack bag and baggage and we will take over. Because we are going for Congress. And it's tomorrow, early morning. So may I plead with my colleagues, since we are sitting on Monday, we can defer these statements and take them on Monday. I know he has some papers he wants to lay. Let's lay these papers and then call it a day. So that today is Friday. Speaker, I employ you to tell him to petition his application and then we can make progress.
Yes, majority leadership.
Speaker, so the long and short is that let's take the statements. The MPP will surely have their Congress. But I am reliably informed that there's an injunction. No, I'm reliably informed. I haven't seen the process, but I'm informed that there's an injunctive process.
Honorable Dafiama,
whatever it is.
That is not your case.
Speaker,
let's have the.
May I pray that we take the statement?
Speaker, I think we should lay the papers because Monday, if you look at the proposed,
I'm told the papers cannot be laid. Is that the case? On the addendum paper.
There are some errors in terms of the framing of the names of the instruments. So we want to take the opportunity to correct them so that Monday when we come, all of them, there are 30 of them, they can be taken. We've taken 5, pending the 30. So Monday we can take them. But we also have...
Are you saying we are taking 5 out of the 30?
No, we've taken the 5 already. My information is that we've taken the...
Okay. Well, so go.
The 5. So, Speaker, let's take the statement. Then we can bring.
Well. Honourable members, I'll take the statement and just one.
Yes.
Comment. I mean, if there's somebody here, I will also I will also allow that.
I know you are eating the time away.
I'll take one here. Yes.
Speaker, I thought he said that admissibility of statement
my brother,
is not subject
let me
to the
hear
issue.
You have the floor now, my brother.
Mr. Speaker, it's rather your sister, the Honorable Afrajechi.
Hey, Honorable, you have the floor now. Let's hear you. Let's hear your voice.
Grateful for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to draw the attention of this esteemed House to the neglect of Ghana's garment industry, an industry brimming with potential to transform our economy, create jobs, and empower our youth and women while celebrating our rich cultural heritage. Globally, this industry involves the designing, production, marketing, and distribution of clothing with the artistry of design for both local and international markets. It is a vibrant ecosystem involving designers, manufacturers, suppliers, retailers, and consumers. Mr. Speaker, the garment industry in Ghana is marked by both traditional and modern artistry. Our garments, like the kente and fugu, are not just fabrics. They embody our cultural identity and heritage, and are recognized both internationally and locally. Yet, the influx of cheap imported clothing, coupled with limited local production, has seen our industry's contribution to GDP drop from a whopping 6.5% in the 1970s to just under 1% today. However, Mr. Speaker, this sector is poised to be the catalyst for socio-economic transformation. With targeted government support, private sector participation, international partnership, and innovative design, we can restore the garment industry as a strong dynamic pillar of our economy. Thankfully, Mr. Speaker, we are now witnessing a revitalization of the garment industry, fueled by technology, social media, creative enterprise, and skills development. Mr. Speaker, this sector is a crucial component of the government's vision of a 24-hour economy, allowing production and services to operate continuously, thereby generating more jobs and enhancing productivity. The garment industry is ideally suited for this policy, fostering ongoing manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, and export operation across our region. This industry holds incredible potential to integrate tourism development in our country. Ghana can attract international visitors by creating garment tourism villages, international traditional textiles museum, and annual fashion shows while promoting our unique identity. Mr. Speaker, we must harness our rich cultural access to create immersive cultural and tourism experiences that blend fashion, heritage, and travel. Mr. Speaker, the garment sector's potential to empower women and youth is undeniable. Globally, it employs millions, especially women, providing them with skills building and entrepreneurship opportunity. We can replicate this with a strategic investment in Ghana, particularly in rural areas like my constituency, Secheria Plains, where opportunities are limited. Investing in training, equipment, and inclusive workspaces, we can empower women and young people to emerge as leaders and innovators within this sector. Mr. Speaker, the government's National Apprenticeship Program and Adjournment program, which were recently launched, present timely avenues for this transformation. We can cultivate a skilled workforce ready to meet domestic and global demand by aligning them with garment production and creative industries. Each trained apprentice will secure a good job and become a potential job creator and entrepreneur, amplifying our impact in empowering youth to be self-employed. Garment possesses significant competitive advantages like the skilled labor, proximity to raw material, a burgeoning fashion economy, and access to the African continental free trade area. With consistent policy, infrastructure investment, and value chain integration, we can position Ghana as a leading hub for garment manufacturing and export in West Africa. Mr. Speaker, I propose that this government, in partnership with the private sector and development partners, establish a garment factory in each of Ghana's 16 regions, not merely as production centers, but as hub for training and empowerment. This initiative, if adopted by John Mahama Jainana Opoku Agyeman administration, will decentralize economic activity, curb rural-urban migration, and foster inclusive economic development. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, revitalizing Ghana's garment industry presents not just an economic obligation, but a national opportunity to create jobs, honor our cultural heritage, empower our youth and women, and showcase the promise of a government that stands for every Ghanaian. Let us unite to reset this garment industry. As an Ashanti will say, "Te Ghana beye ya, efri yen ara." To wit, Ghana's success depends on our collective effort as citizens. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, let me use the opportunity to thank the maker of this statement because it's very important looking at the 24-hour economy that is about to be launched, that is about to be rolled out. Mr. Speaker, it is a fact that this particular subsector is beaming with the potential to transform our economy, create a lot of jobs for our youth and women, and also give us the opportunity to celebrate our own culture, as she has indicated. Mr. Speaker, the problem with this sector is that a lot of the industries are facing unhealthy competition from the outside world. This unhealthy competition is triggered by intensified globalization that has given the opportunity to the foreign companies to produce this kind of inferior goods and flood them with our markets. According to DECA and others, 2006, Harvey, 2004, Rishi and Brindley, 2000. This particular sector faced a lot of challenges. The high cost of production triggered by power, electricity, outdated production technology, lack of access to capital, issues with supply chain, and the nature of the dyes that they used and managerial capabilities have affected these factories all over the years. Mr. Speaker, let me use the opportunity to give some data. In the 1970s, around 1977 to be precise, this particular sector employed 25,000 people and 129 million fabrics were being, 129 yards of fabric were being printed a year. But this reduced to 46,000 in 1995. And the number of people it was employing reduced down to 7,000. In 2000, they could only employ 5,000 people, and 65 million yards were produced. In 2005, it was worse. Only 2,961 people they employed, and they produced only 39 million yards. Mr. Speaker, card manufacturing industry and others are doing very well in this country. They've employed a lot of our young people, and they have been producing garments for outside market and for domestic consumption. Research by Quartet and Abbo, 2011, showed that local consumers in Ghanaian markets prefer the locally manufactured fabrics rather than the foreign ones that are imported into this country. If that is the case, why not do anything to protect these industries? There is a need for us to do a lot. I am happy to inform the House that just last week, as a result of President Mahama's idea of the 24-hour economy, the local manufacturers in this particular area met the Ministry of Industry. Their meeting was to ensure that government should come out with a policy that will protect them and depend solely on local content so that they could boost the economy of this country.
Thank you.
Like all these school uniforms, soldiers' apparel, police apparel, all will be sold in this country.
Thank you.
And the money will remain in this country.
Thank
so
you.
I pray that we realize that dream. And with the 24-hour economy, Ghana will come back to life again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ajay, you've spoken today, but please be brief.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I know you've indulged me because I come here every day wearing the cloth, the Ghanaian fabric, the garment, which is peculiar to Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by celebrating the honorable member for Secretary Afram Plains for this very insightful statement. Mr. Speaker, the author of the statement made reference to our culture and our tradition and implored all of us to see the garment as a celebration and a reflection of who we are. Mr. Speaker, data has shown that the industry from the 70s to now is going down. If we produce the cloths in Ghana, Mr. Speaker, and we don't wear them, I don't know who will wear the cloth for us. So, Mr. Speaker, it starts with us. I remember there was a time when we had the Friday wear, which was compulsory for every public servant, every civil servant to wear made in Ghana. Just this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, I encountered two of my colleagues in the lift, and they were in beautiful smocks. I didn't know about this statement, but I said to them that it looks like the men have declared today a smock day. A lot of the men I've seen in the chamber are in smock, and the smocks are indeed beautiful. Mr. Speaker, we need to take it upon ourselves. We need to provide the first market for this industry. We need to showcase what we have. Fortunately for us, it's beautiful, it's pretty, it's cute. Mr. Speaker, for 7 years, when I served as head of information and minister councillor at our mission in London, I wore only the cloth, made from Ghana, packaged in suitcases and sent over to me in London, and I wore it every day and everywhere. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all of us to let this statement be an inspiration to us and to wear made in Ghana. When we do that, the designers, the manufacturers of this country will feel proud and will feel encouraged to continue doing what they are doing. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
But before I sit down, I want to congratulate Honorable Nasra for such a wonderful statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Honorable Deputy Minister, we are already behind time. So I will invite Honorable Jerry to read his statement. Clement, when you finish, then. So Honorable Jerry, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have this statement that was supposed to have been delivered yesterday, but I still believe that within the period it's still a very important statement. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to make a statement in recognition of the International Day of Justice, which was observed globally yesterday under the theme Accountability and Respect for Law. Mr. Speaker, this year marks the 27th anniversary of the adoption of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, a historic milestone that established the first permanent international criminal court dedicated to ending impunity for the most serious crimes of concern to the international community. As we observe this International Day of Justice, we reflect on Ghana's unwavering commitment to the rule of law, both domestically and internationally, and our role in advancing justice for all humanity. Mr. Speaker, the significance of this day extends beyond mere commemoration to the rule of law, but domestically and internationally, both domestically and internationally, and our role in advancing justice for all humanity. The significance of this day extends beyond commemoration. It serves as a powerful reminder that justice transcends national boundaries and that the fight against impunity requires collective action from the global community. The theme, accountability and respect for law, resonates deeply with Ghana's democratic aspirations and our ongoing journey toward a more just society. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of the International Criminal Court represents a paradigm shift in international law, moving from a system where sovereignty could shield perpetrators of mass atrocities to one where individual accountability takes precedence. This transformation embodies the very essence of our theme that no one, regardless of position or power, should be above the law. Mr. Speaker, accountability as demonstrated by the International Criminal Court means that those who commit the grievous crimes against humanity must face justice. Respect for law, the complementary aspect of our theme, ensures that legal frameworks are not merely theoretical constructs, but living instruments that govern behavior and protect the vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's legal system represents a complex tapestry of legal traditions, reflecting our colonial history and indigenous practices. As noted by the Judicial Service of Ghana, Ghana's legal system was built on a foundation of received Anglo-Saxon common law, statutory law, and other documents with an enduring body of largely unwritten customary usages and practices that remain a contextual feature of the modern legal system of Ghana. This diverse legal heritage underscores the importance of respecting all forms of law within our jurisdiction. True respect for law means acknowledging that justice can emerge from various legal traditions while ensuring that these traditions align with fundamental human rights principles. Mr. Speaker, since the restoration of constitutional democracy in 1993, Ghana has made significant strides in strengthening the rule of law, according to the Africa Governance Monitoring and Advocacy Project, AFRIMAP. The country has witnessed many positive developments since the restoration of civilian rule in 1993, including improvements in the administration of law and justice. These improvements reflect our growing understanding that accountability is not merely about punishment, but about creating systems that prevent abuse of power and ensure transparent governance. Mr. Speaker, as parliamentarians, we bear a special responsibility in advancing the cause of justice, particularly in embodying the principles of accountability and respect for law. The Parliament of Ghana serves as the primary institution for lawmaking, oversight, and representation, making it central to any efforts to strengthen the rule of law. Our role extends beyond simply passing laws. We must ensure that legislation is crafted with justice and human rights principles at its core. Mr. Speaker, Parliament's accountability function manifests through rigorous oversight of the executive branch, ensuring that government policies and actions comply with legal standards. We must demonstrate respect for law by subjecting ourselves to the same. Mr. Speaker, what we expect of others, and by creating laws that are fair, just, responsive to the needs of our constituents. Mr. Speaker, the advancement of justice is not solely the responsibility of government institutions, civil society organizations, legal practitioners, and academic institutions, and ordinary citizens. All have vital roles to play in promoting justice and the rule of law. Civil society organizations serve as watchdogs, advocates, and service providers, helping to ensure that justice institutions remain accountable to the people they serve. Mr. Speaker, legal practitioners have a professional obligation to uphold the highest standards of legal practice and to ensure that justice is accessible to all. They serve as guardians of respect for law by maintaining professional ethics and advocating for their clients within the bounds of legal propriety. As we commemorate the International Day of Justice, we must recommit ourselves to the pursuit of a more just society grounded in accountability and respect for law, to the pursuit of a more just society grounded in accountability and respect for law. This requires sustained effort across multiple fronts, including strengthening institutions, promoting legal education and awareness, embracing technology and innovation, and fostering inclusive justice. Mr. Speaker, we must continue to invest in building strong, independent, and effective institutions that embody accountability in their operations and command respect through their fairness and effectiveness. This includes providing adequate resources, improving infrastructure, and ensuring that our institutions have the capacity to deliver timely and fair justice. The International Day of Justice reminds us that the pursuit of justice is both a global endeavor and a local responsibility. For Ghana, this day represents an opportunity to reflect on our progress, acknowledge our challenges, and renew our commitment to build a more just society. As we move forward, we must remember that justice is not a destination but a journey. It requires the sustained commitment of all stakeholders, government, civil society, and citizens. Mr. Speaker, I first of all call upon the government of Ghana to demonstrate unwavering commitment to strengthening our justice institutions through increased budgetary allocations, comprehensive justice sector reforms, and the implementation of policies that ensure equal access to justice for all. Government must lead by example in demonstrating accountability and respect for law in all actions and decisions. Furthermore, to my esteemed colleagues in Parliament, I call upon us to recognize our sacred duty as custodians of the law and guardians of democratic principles. We must commit to passing legislation that opposes human rights, strengthens the rule of law, and ensures that our legal framework remains responsive to the evolving needs of our society. Lastly, to our esteemed members of the judiciary, I call upon you to continue upholding the highest standards of judicial independence, integrity, and impartiality. The judiciary remains the final arbiter of justice in our democracy, and citizens must have unwavering confidence in your ability to deliver fair and timely justice. Mr. Speaker, let us use this day today to recommit ourselves to the cause of justice, knowing that our efforts today will shape the Ghana we live for future generations. May the principles of accountability and respect for law guide our actions as we work together to build a more just and equitable society for all Ghanaians. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to have this statement.
Yes, honourable members, I'll take one comment, then you bring proceedings to a close. Okay, leadership. Okay, Honourable Tampoli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make a few remarks on a statement that has been ably delivered by the Deputy Minority Chief Whip and the distinguished member for the good people of Wejagbawe. Mr. Speaker, the end results of principles such as rule of law, of constitutionalism, separation of powers, and all those wonderful superlatives is respect for the fundamental human rights and freedoms of our people. Mr. Speaker, as rightly said by the maker of the statement, if you come to Article 11 of the 1992 Constitution, you find the hierarchy of norms, the Constitution, enactments, instruments. You find that we have customary law, common law, orders, and so on and so forth. Mr. Speaker, all of these would come to nothing if the individual does not enjoy any liberties. And Mr. Speaker, this takes us to matters within Chapter 5 of our Constitution, which deals with fundamental human rights. And it's very pleasing to know, Mr. Speaker, that this House has come of age. And currently we have a committee on human rights that have been hived away from the Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs. And Mr. Speaker, citizens' rights would be better enhanced if we give fidelity to provisions in the Constitution such as Article 14 and Article 19, which guarantees fair trial for individuals. So a person is picked up, you are read your Miranda rights, and then you are taken through the process, and you must be sent before a court of law within a matter of 48 hours. Mr. Speaker, what we have come to know is that some security institutions say that they must take you after 48 hours. The law says within 48 hours. And so if you are taking a person in custody, it stands to reason that you should be reckoning the dates. And by the time 48 hours, extends, you should be able to take the person to a court of competent jurisdiction. But, Mr. Speaker, what we have come to realize is that in some instances, bail is granted, but the terms are too onerous. Mr. Speaker, these do not accord with the kind of freedoms that we expect that the individual in the country should enjoy. Because such onerous bail terms, one way or the other, is saying that we want to continue to hold the person in custody. And Mr. Speaker, we must all advert our minds to the provisions of the 1992 Constitution that provides for us to give the accused person or the person of interest or a suspect the benefits of the doubts, in which case it says that a person is presumed innocent until he is convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction, or he himself, had admitted to committing some crime. So, Mr. Speaker, with all of these things, we have to come back and rededicate ourselves to what would continue to nourish this our constitutional democracy that we have given to ourselves since 1993. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, this is the longest spell that we have ever had since, the first Republican Constitution. And I believe that we all have a duty to continue to do our best to keep ourselves in track. Mr. Speaker, I thank the maker of the statement, and I appreciate the opportunity to make this contribution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, lastly, let me hear.
Speaker, let me thank the maker of the statement, who is bringing our attention to our parliamentary jurisprudence and the practice of constitutionalism. So I think right from the First Republic and where we are as a country, we need to pat ourselves on the shoulder, mainly because more often than not, we have overly focused on the negatives. The positives must be celebrated as well. Of course, there are regrettable moments right from the 1960 Constitution. We've had some very bad moments. But clearly, Speaker, we have lived on as a republic and have showed improvement, however incremental it has been. We've shown improvement. Speaker, let me take you to the Third Republic, the Third Republican Constitution, where there was the exercise of clear separation of powers. The executive and the legislature. There was clear separation of powers. I'll just conclude. Now, Speaker, again, during the 1979 Constitution, we had the opportunity where the minority leader then was a member of the Council of State, was a member of the Council of State. And it was for a very good reason. Speaker, right from the International Bill of Rights, or the UN, which has fine reflection in our chapter 5 and chapter 6 of our Constitution, particularly chapter 6, the directive principle of state policy. In other jurisdictions, Nigeria, just nearby, the Directive Principle of State Policy, it is justiciable in Nigeria. We've captured very beautiful provisions in our Directive Principle of State Policy, and it's supposed to be a good guide both to the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. And these are beautiful in the books. We can't enforce them. We can't enforce them. And a country like Kenya, they've tested all provisions in their constitution. We are always in a hurry to put together a creature to look at our constitution. We have often lacked the confidence to make the necessary amendment to our constitution. I am aware the President has put together another body. I hope we will be confident. I hope we'll be confident to do what we have to do. The Honorable Tampuri, my respected colleague, referencing chapter 19, chapter 14, yes, article 14 particularly, that deals with rights, arrest, detention, and our liberties. Article 15. These are things that we should teach our kids at school. And we should relate to them practically. I think, Speaker, these are the things that will make the difference while we seek to nurture our democracy. Our democracy has come to stay. And the very ingredient that nurtures our democracy is the rule of law, the Constitution. And we should be seen to be consolidating the Constitution. Speaker, I know we are constrained with time, and already the NPP will be gathering tomorrow at our Congress. So I'll end it here, and thank you for the kind opportunity. I'm grateful, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, majority leadership.
Speaker, let me commend the maker of this very important statement. Speaker, reading the title of the statement, it's in commemoration of the International Day of Justice. Speaker, the Venerable Martin Luther King, Reverend, of blessed memory, the legend and apostle of civil rights in the world, not only limited to America alone, but in the Western Hemisphere, in modern democracies. Speaker, he said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So,
take that statement again. Injustice anywhere
is a threat to justice everywhere.
Well.
So where infractions of injustice occurs anywhere in the world, then the possibility of justice existing everywhere else becomes threatened. And it's such a profound statement that governs the modern jurisprudence and constitutionalism. Speaker, underpinning constitutional rule is the call for justice. Speaker, justice may happen whether or not you like it. But as a people, we must strive for it. And Speaker, 3 days ago, at an international seminar, another very profound statement was made. And the person said, sometimes the law gets in the way of justice. And it's true. People can use the law to frustrate justice from being administered. So, as my brother is calling on this house to commemorate this day, we as parliamentarians must be the avant-garde of ensuring that justice prevails, in our various communities. meting out instant justice to people when they are perceived to have committed some wrong must at all times be avoided. Instant justice must be avoided because that is not justice. There's a procedure provided under law in pursuance of which justice can be ensured. Speaker, homes of people are demolished unlawfully. When they seek justice, it takes forever. Mr. Speaker, even the state has brought in justice as occasion injustice to people. And let me use the opportunity to speak about the hundreds of families and paramounts who lost their lands during the construction of the Volta Dam. The dam is benefiting the state, but Mr. Speaker, the people who lost the land have been chasing their compensation payment. Speaker, to date. So I appreciate, let me commend my brother once more for this very important statement. That is a statement that should keep guiding us in all that we do. Even on the floor, Mr. Speaker, we must be seen to be ensuring that justice prevails at all times. Even, Mr. Speaker, when you are sitting, we must not make your work difficult because you need to administer justice in how you manage the house. If we make the work so difficult for you, you are placed in a situation where you are seen not to administer justice. But you must discipline in order to ensure that justice prevails. So, Speaker, I thank you for admitting this statement. There were issues regarding how many we could take, but I'm happy that finally when this statement was taken, it's a statement that befits the status that becomes the last statement for today, being the last day for the week. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, honourable members. We will bring statement to a close. Let me thank you for your cooperation. We'll bring proceedings to a close. Leader, Honourable Jaffe, may you move a motion for us to adjourn?
Speaker, precisely so. Speaker, in the absence of any further business, I move that today's proceedings be brought to an end and the House be adjourned accordingly. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Speaker, 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 I see my mentor in the chamber. He is a man of justice. And I know that for such an important statement on justice, Speaker, I pray that you indulge him. I know he doesn't need to read. He's a working justice. Speaker, he is a working justice. Speaker, he is a working justice. Yes, he is a man of profound independence. Speaker, with these words, my prayer is that you will consider.
After the secondment.
Speaker, pardon me.
After the secondment.
Speaker, after the secondment, Mr. House. Speaker, that is like all go. But Speaker, as you may direct, I second the motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Honourable members, let me thank all of you. Today is Friday, and you don't intend to keep all of you in abeyance. So we bring proceedings to a close. Honourable leadership, when are you coming on Monday?
Speaker, 2 o'clock, Mr. Speaker.
2 o'clock?
No, Monday, 2 o'clock. Monday, 2 o'clock, Mr. Speaker.
Monday, 2 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. Honourable members, I will therefore move to adjourn the House to Monday. Monday will be when? 21st?
Speaker, that is so.
Yes, Monday, 21st July 2025 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In other words, 14 hours Greenwich Mean Time. The House stands adjourned.